We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas from Atmos Energy. It's efficient and reliable energy that's essential for today and generations to come. You can count on affordable natural gas to help you save money and keep you comfortable while fueling your dream home. So make the smart choice and talk to a builder today about including natural gas. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6!
Pick 6!
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
Never settle when building or remodeling your home. You may think you can't afford brick, but you can. For less than $1 a day, you can own a full brick home. The money you save on painting, heating, and cooling costs, along with lower insurance, will put money back in your pocket. Go to CherokeeBrick.com to see how affordable brick really is. Spend less, save more on the look you want. Cherokee Brick. Life's just better with brick.
My family was involved in a terrible car wreck.
They needed blood immediately. Mississippi Blood Services provided the life-sustaining blood they needed.
You don't think about this happening to your family, but it happens every day.
The need for blood could hit your family next. So don't let fear of needles, a busy schedule, or random excuses keep you from saving your family. Another life could depend on you.
They come from every part of this great Magnolia state. From the foothills to the crossroads of the Delta, from the red clay through the thick piney woods, and from along the mighty river to the sea. Places with unique names and history tucked far away from the modern world. Young men from various backgrounds, few from cities, many from small towns and farms. Through blood, sweat, and tears, they become brothers, differences put aside, displaying unity for a common mission that can not only be accomplished, but conquered. Life lessons taught on a Magnolia State gridiron where playing for crab traps, little brown jugs, and golden chickens just means more. But for the vast majority of these young men, they will never play the game again after these days are done. But for some, legends will be born.
McNair throws back. Kobe Jenkins, touchdown. And he's going deep to Jerry Rice. He's got it. Touchdown. Barr back to pass, pumps to the left. 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown. Quick pitch to Walter. Looking for the record. Cuts back. He's got it. He's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record.
Kings, they will be crowned.
Handoff Hill straight ahead, has room to run inside the 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. And the Tupelo sideline goes wild as they're going to be state champions.
Where storybooks are written.
That's intercepted at the 26-yard line, brought to the near side, 15, 10, touchdown, Baldwin.
And dynasties reign.
West Point has done it again. They have won their 13th state championship in their program's history and back-to-back titles.
And where the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat meet in one unforgettable moment.
Louisville going for two. Punt rolls right. Eyes up. Man there, too tall. Triplet goes up out of the back of the end zone. And Poplarville has done it. They have slayed the giant of 4A football.
3 days, 14 teams, 7 champions. Mississippi, it is time. Time to witness history. This is the 7A State Championship on the State Championships Radio Network.
Big one, the 7A State Championship between the Tupelo Golden Wave and the Gulfport Admirals. It's great to be with you. Coming up in a moment, I'll be joined by Jake Wimberly and eventually on the sideline by Brandon Davis. Ben Ingram here with you, and this is our final game of State Championship weekend, and it is a big one. Gulfport representing the Mississippi Gulf Coast. This is the first time in a long time that a team from the Mississippi Gulf Coast has been to the state championship game. In fact, you'd have to go all the way back to 2004 when Ocean Springs was defeated in that game. The last time a coast team won a state championship at the highest classification, all the way back in 2000 when Moss Point beat Clinton. So a lot to gain here for the Gulfport Admirals, and in order to win a state championship, they'll have to take on the defending 7A state champions in the Tupelo Golden Wave. Folks, Farm Bureau Insurance, with offices in all 82 of Mississippi's counties, Farm Bureau has been meeting the insurance needs of all its members at the local level. More information on auto, home, and life insurance options at msfbins.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, presenting sponsor of the State Championship Radio Network. Well, let's start off with the defending champions, the Tupelo Golden Wave. They come in with a record of 13-1 out of Region 1 in 7A, 65 miles down the road, and they are led by their head coach, Ty Harden, in his 6th season here with Tupelo. 1 win away from back-to-back state championships. They went 14-0 last year. They beat Brandon in the state championship game, and since the start of last year, they've won 27 of their last 28 games. They've been the standard in 7A the last couple of years. Their only loss this year was against West Point, all the way back on September 26th. Since then, they won 9 straight. How have they done it? Well, they have Mr. Football in 7A, J.J. Hill. Senior running back and Mississippi State commit is averaging 122 rushing yards per game, 15 touchdowns. Also, junior running back Kylan Bobo ran for over 1,600 yards and 27 touchdowns. And it's a Tupelo team that has wins over Starkville, Germantown, and Oxford in their playoff path. For Tupelo, what's at stake? They're in search of their 3rd state championship in school history. They won titles in 1992 and in 2024, and they're playing Gulfport for the first time in school history. Meanwhile, the Admirals, 11-2 out of Region 4 7A, coming up from the coast, 258 miles down the road, and their head coach is Blake Pennock. He's in his 3rd season there in Gulfport. He came over from Ocean Springs, and he's gone 24-11 in his 3 seasons at Gulfport, and he has the Admirals in the state championship game for the first time since 1982. More on that a little bit later. This Gulfport team enters tonight on a 10-game winning streak. Their last loss was all the way back on September 19th versus Petal. That was their 3rd game of the season, and at that point in the year, they were 1-2 to begin the season. But since then, their offense has ignited the team. They've scored 40 or more points in 8 of their last 10 games, and they've been rolling down the stretch, and they've had it going on down there on the coast. In the playoffs, their path has seen them pick up wins over Northwest Rankin, Petal, and Brandon. They're averaging 38 points per game, and they're led by senior quarterback Parker Nettles. He passed for over 2,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. And their senior running back, Cooper Crosby, he too is a Mississippi State commit. He rushed for over 1,600 yards and 32 touchdowns. So 2 fine backs in this game, in Cooper Crosby for Gulfport and for J.J. Hill with Tupelo. For Gulfport, tonight is just the 2nd time in school history that they have reached the state championship game. The other time, 1982. They lost to West Point that year, and they have not been back since then. So tonight they're looking for their first state championship in football in school history. In fact, just to show you how bad things have gone for the Admirals in the playoffs in recent years, if you go back to 2011, the Admirals have reached the playoffs 13 times. In 11 of those 13 seasons, they were eliminated in the first round. So they've had no success virtually in the postseason until this year, and they find themselves in the state championship game. Time now for the starting lineups presented by Spencer Ready Mix Concrete of Jackson, providing foundation work for construction projects in central Mississippi. Driveways, patios, house pads, and some commercial projects are available for booking. More information at SpencerReadyMixConcrete.com or by calling 601-981-6080. When we come back, we'll get to those starting lineups, and right after that, I'll be joined by Jake and Brandon. We'll have kickoff of the 7A State Championship game right around the corner. Back in 3 minutes, you're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
What started in 1847 with asphalt paving experiments, over 175 years later has grown into an industry-leading transportation construction company and materials provider. Our operations span across multiple states, which include asphalt plants, construction crews, sand and gravel operations, stone yards, a limestone quarry, as well as river unload facilities.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
When the job calls for contractor-grade industrial supplies, start where the pros go. Ace Bolt and Screw. We've got fasteners for every job. Bolts, screws, anchors, and more, built to handle the toughest work. No waiting, no guesswork. Just the right tools and fasteners right when you need it. And when you've got questions, our friendly, knowledgeable staff is always here to help. Ace Bolt and Screw. Your project, our industrial supplies. Get it done right.
From our view on this farm, food security is national security. Our nation must have a sustainable food source. Keeping the supply chain moving and food on our grocery store shelves by growing the cleanest food in the world.
We're only one of thousands, but we are united as one to grow the food, fiber, and shelter you need every day because Mississippi needs us. Mississippi needs farmers, the farm families of Mississippi.
She had a good coach that pointed her in the right direction, and we were able to get to her quick enough, and she's young and healthy enough that she's going to have a great outcome.
I would say the biggest difference is just how Dr. Moss explained everything. I went into my second surgery knowing exactly what after surgery was going to look like, what during surgery was going to look like, and it just made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident with my outcome.
43 degrees here in Starkville, just about ready for kickoff. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau. Folks, with C Spire, you've got all the technology you need for connected living, fiber fast home internet, ultra-secure Wi-Fi, and nationwide 5G wireless that you can count on. cspire.com, C Spire, customer inspired. Time now for the starting lineups. We'll start off with the Gulfport Admirals, coming in with a record of 11-2 as they represent the South in 7A. Their head coach is Blake Pennick in his third season. They'll lead it off there with their quarterback, Parker Nettles. He makes it all go for the Admirals. Parker Nettles, the senior quarterback, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions this year. Behind him, the dynamic running back of Cooper Crosby. Crosby, a senior running back, 6 feet tall, 210. Also get carries by Amaje Frederick. He is a junior running back. Receivers, Javius Hales, a junior receiver, had 3 touchdowns during the season. Also, Camden Morgan, a junior receiver, 4 touchdowns and a big target for Parker Nettles. The tight end is Cooper Gwynn. Also, Mylan Stubbs and Jayon Pollard will get some looks as well at the receiver position. Tight end Jaqueline Peters is a senior. They'll swap out Gwynn and Peters, the 2 senior tight ends. The offensive line for Gulfport, the left tackle is Malachi Smith. The left guard is Christian Scruggs. Center is Bruce Davis. Right guard is Jamarian Moses. And the right tackle is Jacoby Ray. And that's the offense for the Admirals. The defense for Gulfport, along their defensive line, Javon Anderson, 7.5 sacks, the most on the team for them. Nick Strickland also on the defensive line, and Lawrence Robertson, who had 20 tackles for loss this year. They have a very strong core of linebackers, led by Andre Peters. He had 144 tackles to lead the team. Also DeAndre Williams, a linebacker, Cortel Crandall, and Amaji Frederick. In the secondary for Gulfport, Jayon Pollard, Cordarius Payton, Javius Hales, who leads the team with 4 interceptions, Pierre Felder, and Tyrell Seals. The defense for Gulfport, their kicker is Carter Platt. Again, that's Gulfport as they come into the record of 11-2. Now for the Tupelo Golden Wave. They are 13-1. They're the defending 7A state champions. Their head coach is Ty Harden in his 6th season. Braylon Williams is the quarterback for the Golden Wave. The senior has passed for 4 touchdowns this year. He's run for 10. He's an Ole Miss commit, and he will be the quarterback for Tupelo. The dynamic running back tandem of J.J. Hill and Kylan Bobo is really the bread and butter for the Tupelo Golden Wave offense. J.J. Hill, Mr. Football 7A, he ran for 15 touchdowns, and Kylan Bobo, the junior, ran for 27 touchdowns and over 1,600 yards. Receivers, Zachorian Baskin and Day Generic will certainly get looks, and also running back Tyquez Raines will get his hands on the ball as well a few times. The offensive line for Tupelo, left tackle is Antonio Berry, left guard is Christian Shumpert. The center is Reed Lindsay, right guard Jayton Harrell, and the right tackle is Carl Darius Hall. The defense for Tupelo, Jaqueline Patton is a defensive end. Jaraylen McCoy is the other defensive end. He had 8 sacks to lead the team. They're in the middle of that defensive line. The tackles, Donovan Hawkins and Donovan Bell. The linebackers, Devontre Brewer, J.D. Wise, Tyson Hunter, and Caden Buchanan. Keep an eye out for Devontre Brewer. 110 tackles, leads the Tupelo defense. The secondary for Tupelo, J.Q. Harrell is a cornerback. Iverson McCoy, 5 interceptions. He leads the team. Jaden Knox, a senior safety, and Braylon McLuhan is the other cornerback. The kicker is Hobson Dodrell, and the punter is Trace Wilson. So those are the starting lineups as we're just about ready for this game. Tupelo has taken the field. They're wearing their blue helmets, white uniform tops, white pants with royal blue numerals and lettering. Now Gulfport has taken the field. They're wearing orange headgear, blue uniform tops, and white pants, white numerals and lettering outlined in orange as well. So Gulfport here on this west sideline. Tupelo will be on the east sideline as our press box is here on the west side of the stadium, our Mississippi Sports Medicine broadcast booth. The officials for tonight's game, Ramon Thompson, Donnie Elkin, Michael Green, Bernard Daniels, Stan Acey, Ronald Elkin, Ryan Taylor, Roosevelt Harris, and Kenneth Edwards is the play clock operator. So you know all parties involved. Everyone has been introduced, and it's time to pop pads one final time for state championship weekend. Brandon Davis is down on the sideline, and Brandon, this has been such a fun weekend, and when it comes to the weather, as we have a crisp, cool evening, no rain, wind picking up a little bit, but not bad compared to some of the other nights we've had this weekend.
Oh, no, Ben, and you're spot on. This has just been a great week for us here in Starkville State Championship games. This is good football weather here tonight. Ball might be a little heavier because of the crispness in the air, but this is good weather. The field is immaculate. I can't say enough good things about this Mississippi State ground crew, the best in the country. We've played 6 games to this point. We had rain all day on Thursday, but this is an immaculate-looking field. There's not going to be any issues tonight with footing or the playing surface here on Scott Field.
Cannot wait for this. And Brandon, thanks so much, and happy you'll be down there throughout the game. Again, this is the final state championship game, and the champions that have been crowned already. In 1A, it was Calhoun City. In 2A, East Webster won just a moment ago. Raleigh was the 3A state champion. Columbia won the 4A state championship. The 5A state champion was Brookhaven, the 6A state champion, Warren Central, and tonight, the final game, the big one, Tupelo and Gulfport duking it out for the 7A state championship game. Also joining us here in the booth, Jake Wimberly. And Jake, I know you're pumped up for this one. You got to see Gulfport just last weekend as you're calling the South State Championship game between Gulfport and Brandon. What jumped out to you about this Gulfport team?
I think for Gulfport, the biggest thing is the way they scheme it offensively. Their quarterback started out 10 for 10 against Brandon last week. Really kept Brandon on their heels early because everybody thinks, hey, Gulfport, Cooper Crosby, Blake Pinnock is going to scheme it as good as they can. This is a very pivotal moment here with Gulfport getting the football that Tupelo tried to establish dominance defensively.
And then, of course, for Tupelo, we know all about them. They were in the state championship game last year and were victorious, so they're looking for back-to-back state championships. Prior to last year, Tupelo, is as great of a program as they have in football, had won just one state championship. That was back in 1992. Now they're looking for back-to-back titles as they won it last year and looking for a victory over Gulfport. These two schools have never faced each other in football. Of course, a long way apart here in the great state of Mississippi. Gulfport down on the coast and Tupelo up at the northeast corner of the state of Mississippi. We are ready for 7A football. A title on the line. Hobson Dodrell will have it on the tee, and he's got it at the 40-yard line. Gulfport is ready to receive as they'll be coming the other way with it. Cordarius Payton is back deep for the Admirals as they'll be moving left to right from where we sit here in the booth, moving towards the south end zone. 7A championship. Here we go. Hobson Dodrell is ready. He approaches the ball, and he booms it off of his right foot. It's a high kick that'll be fielded at the 21-yard line. A fair catch right there, and that's where the Admirals will begin 1st and 10 of their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Gulfport in all three playoff games this year have run at some times a semblance of trick plays. Against Petal 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they did the old slip the receiver in off the sideline at the last second. They hit Brandon with a double reverse pass and then a double reverse last week. So let's see if they go to the bag of tricks early.
It'll be the first play in our Pine Straw of America first quarter. Great to have you with us alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline. Ben Ingram here with you from Starkville, Mississippi. Parker Nettles out of the shotgun on first down. A few men in motion left to right. Tupelo exchanging a few players there on that defensive line as they shuffle around. Now Nettles calls an audible, looks towards his sideline. 13 seconds left on the play clock. Gulfport and the quarterback Nettles now in the pistol formation. Behind him is Crosby. It'll be a handoff. Crosby up the middle, met by a host of Wave players. A loss of one on the play. Great penetration by the Wave.
Yeah, that's what's going to be interesting to see. That Gulfport offensive front, likely the biggest that this Tupelo gigantic defensive front has faced up to this season. Both coaches in the pregame was asked about what's the key to success. It's domination on the line.
Caden Buchanan, they're leading the way for the tackle. He's a senior linebacker. Second down and a little bit more than 10. Parker Nettles on the offense looking to the right at their sideline. And they signal in the play from the gun. Nettles sends a man in motion right to left. Nettles waiting on the snap, takes it. Looking left, now spins out right. He's going to take it himself. He angles outside the hash marks toward the numbers. He is met right there by Devontre Brewer, and he slams him to the ground. It's a loss of 2.
One of the things that Tupelo has that a lot of people don't is straight line speed, and they've got it front end to back. And you saw Nettles right there. A lot of times this year, that's a gain of 6 or 7 for him. Tupelo shut that door quickly.
This is a Gulfport team that averaged 38 points per game. But 2 plays in, they drop 3 yards, and they're looking at a little bit more than 3rd and 12. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right, ball on the right hash. From the gun, Parker Nettles on 3rd and long, takes the snap, looking down the middle of the field, unloads to his left, pass is caught on a slant. He's got a man across midfield, breaking into the open field, and now down to the 40-yard line was the receiver, Javius Hales. Hales ran a slant right over the middle, and a strike by Parker Nettles and a first down, a gain of 42.
Javius Hales lit Brandon up last week. 7 catches, 175, and a couple touchdowns. He's a speedster on this team, and he showed it right there.
Jaden Knox and Braylon McLuhan caught him, but that's after the Environment Masters first downs as they move the chains. All the way up to the 40-yard line and a gain of 42 yards on 3rd and 12. That'll boost their confidence. Nettles, the quarterback, sends a man in motion left to right. Nettles from the gun takes the snap. Nettles will fake twice, looking down the middle of the field. Steps up in the pocket, now cuts out left. Checks down, fires incomplete over the head of his intended receiver. That went right through the hands of his intended receiver, looking for Cordarius Payton.
You saw it right there, 1, 2, and 3 fakes by the quarterback Nettles and just overshot his receiver. But they're going to keep you guessing. They use motion. They use fakes. They want to try to move your defense without, physically moving them.
2nd down and 10 from the pistol formation. Nettles with Cooper Crosby behind him. We've not said Crosby's name yet in terms of getting a handoff. 2nd down and 10. Here's the handoff. This time it'll be Crosby. Goes over left guard, dives ahead up to the 35-yard line. That'll be gain of 5 yards.
Good run by Cooper Crosby. Again, Cooper Crosby signed with Mississippi State this week. So did J.J. Hill. Both running backs in this ball game playing their last high school game on a field that they're going to start their college career.
They'll be competing for a job, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll be teammates next week in the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star game.
3rd down and 5. Gulfport converted on a 3rd and 12 moments ago with a 42-yard strike down the middle of the field. See what they have up their sleeve on 3rd and 5. Parker Nettles takes a snap, rolls out to his right, fires to the sideline, passes caught to the 30-yard line and out of bounds goes Camden Morgan, the junior receiver. That's a gain of 5 yards, and that's right at the marker. And it's looking like it'll be 4th and very short, and they'll keep the offense on the field.
6 plays so far in this drive for Gulfport, started around their own 20-yard line. And you got to love the mixture that Blake Pinnock has had on this opening drive. Again, nobody schemes it better than Blake Pinnock and his offensive staff.
Yeah, this has been a very impressive starting drive, but 4th and less than a yard now. They stack up men in the backfield out of the pistol formation. Nettles takes the handoff, hands it to Crosby, bounces out right side, around the edge, has a first down and a gain of 4 yards. Well, for a moment there, Jake, that could have been a disaster. It wasn't the best snap of the world, but Nettles brought it down, was able to get it into the belly of his running back, Crosby.
Yeah, that was one of those avoid disaster moments. Crosby, though, you see how hard of a tackler, he is to get down for tacklers. Really just ripping through a couple guys there.
An Environment Masters first down. They have it at the Tupelo 25-yard line. No score. 9:02 left in the first quarter of play. This is the opening drive of the game for Gulfport. Admirals have it at the 25-yard line. Nettles from the shotgun. Crosby to his left. They send a man in motion right to left. Nettles takes the snap. Handoff up the middle. Crosby ahead inside the 20-yard line. Lowered his helmet and just powered right into the linebackers. Devontae Brewer there on the tackle. That's a gain of 7 to maybe 8 yards.
Yeah, good job by Cooper Crosby. And again, he's not a guy that's going to wow you just when you watch him. He pops off the page, but you can see right there, great straight line speed. They said at Mississippi State camps, I was told today, he ran a 4.440 here on this field.
Picked up a good block from his senior tight end, Cooper Gwynn. 2nd down and 2.5. 8:20 left in the opening quarter, no score. Nettles from the gun again. Man in motion right to left. That's Morgan. Nettles takes the snap. Nettles screen pass left side. Pass is going to be caught. Breaking to the sideline. Hales angles to the 10. 5 of the pylon and pushed out of bounds. There are 2 flags thrown to the 10-yard line, however. Looking like a hold on Camden Morgan, the junior receiver, along that far sideline. And we'll hear from Ramon Thompson, our head of officials.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down.
Well, that's a big penalty.
Yeah, and he was holding Jaden Knox for sure. He had a handful of his jersey as well as his shoulder pad and wasn't letting him get to the ball carrier. So that was an obvious one. So it goes to 2nd and 5 now. No score. Ball at the 20-yard line. Nettles from the gun. They send a man out in motion. Nettles by himself in the backfield. Now an audible as they look to the sideline. Want to switch things around a little bit. Into the pistol formation they go with Crosby behind Nettles. Nettles takes the snap, handoff. Crosby around the left side, has a hole inside the 10 to the 5, barreling into the end zone. Touchdown, Admirals. It's 6-0 on the first drive of the game for Gulfport. Javius Hales with a big block, and that's all Cooper Crosby needed to spring him into the end zone.
Wow, you see right there, they pull a guard. He didn't need it, and both the hole, that big offensive front got the best of the defensive front right there. Let's go down to Brandon Davis, who's right there. Brandon, you're a former offensive lineman coach as well. You got to love that blocking.
I tell you what, and you said it best, Wim. He didn't even need anybody really blocking for him. They pulled around. He hit that hole hard, and he found pay dirt.
Carter Platt out for the extra point. His kick is away. And that is good. So a Trustmark Bank touchdown followed by the Atmos Energy extra point, and it's 7-0 in favor of Gulfport. Back in 90 seconds, 7:59 left in the first quarter. Gulfport 7, Tupelo nothing. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
We don't treat cancer, or design breathtaking buildings, or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day. So much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C-Spire. Inspired by you.
From the Blues Trail to hiking trails, from history and heritage tours to galleries and museums, from hidden treasures to culinary delights. It's all right here in Columbus, Mississippi. Plan your trip today. Catch you in Columbus.
I'll get you scored summary, Ben.
$7:59 left in the first quarter. Gulfport 7, Tupelo nothing here in the Pine Straw America first quarter. Pine Straw America providing homes and businesses with fresh pine straw on schedule. Pine Straw America, nature's elegance delivered nationwide. Jake, what an opening drive and what a statement for a team that hasn't been to the state championship game since 1982.
No, big statement there. The APAC of Mississippi scoring summary. A 20-yard touchdown by Cooper Crosby. That was a drive that went 10 plays for 80 yards, 4 minutes and 1 second. Platt with the PAT is good. Gulfport leads 7-0. 7:59 to go in the first quarter.
They had a 3rd and 12 play on that drive, and they connected for 42 yards. That was a big play. That got them going. And they find themselves in the end zone. Here's Carter Platt to kick it away. Right-footed kicker. Kicks one high, end over end. Tupelo has it at the 10-yard line. Here they come the other way. Tupelo with the ball in the hands of Iverson McCoy. Outside the hash marks to the 20, 25, 30, 40 across midfield. Breaks a tackle deep into Gulfport territory. 30 all the way down to the 20-yard line. What a return by Iverson McCoy. He's such an athlete. The senior safety on special teams that time, taking it deep into Gulfport territory. A 70-yard return.
Special teams can be special, and it was right there for Tupelo. You talk about an answer to the punch right in the head. It's that right there. Now that tees up this Tupelo offense. We're going to get to see now their version of the run and fun, shall we say, with two-time 7A Player of the Year, J.J. Hill.
Their first play of scrimmage coming inside the William Carey University Red Zone. Information on degree options and enrollment at wmcarey.edu. From the shotgun, Braylon Williams. A handoff to the left side by J.J. Hill. Stretching around that left side, a gain of a yard maybe. And the Admirals there to eat it up. Nick Strickland, the junior defensive lineman. And also Lawrence Robertson there to bring him down.
Yeah, good job by Gulfport. Really, kind of getting in there. You look at Nick Strickland, also another guy that was there. That defensive front, and again, Gulfport may be the only team in the state that matches them guy for guy up front.
Out of the pistol formation, Braylon Williams. Right behind him, J.J. Hill. Mr. Football 7A, J.J. Hill. 2 wide to the right, 2 to the left. Man in motion, that's the tight end Raines. Braylon Williams awaiting the snap, takes it. He hands off straight ahead, Hill to the 15, in the pile, surges a little bit further, and then stonewalled at that point. That'll be a gain of 3. Andre Peters stopped his momentum, and it brings up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Caleb McDonald, another one that's in there as well for Gulfport. And when you look at this now, 3rd down and 5, can kind of open the playbook up here. We'll see what Tupelo dials up.
Tupelo looking for an answer. Gulfport 80-yard drive on their first drive of the game. They lead 7-0 with 6:37 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 5 from the 15-yard line. Braylon Williams again from the pistol formation with J.J. Hill in his rearview mirror. Moving to the right side of the line is Tyquez Raines. Handoff is time to Hill. Bounces left side, has the first down and more. Inside the 5, dives for the goal line, and J.J. Hill is in. It's a touchdown for the Golden Wave. A heavy dose of J.J. Hill and a great block by Tyquez Raines.
Both Mississippi State signees score touchdowns. Brandon Davis, we got a running back showcase.
Hey, and if you're a Mississippi State fan, alumni, you have to be excited about the future. I thought he was maybe a yard short getting in there, but they went ahead and gave him the touchdown.
A Trustmark Bank touchdown. Now they're looking for the Atmos Energy extra point. Hobson Dodgel, right-footed kicker, is out there looking to tie the game up. Well, that didn't take long, did it? So Gulfport go right down and score. Then a great return on the kickoff by Tupelo set them up 1st and 10 of the 20, and they get it in there. Extra point is up, and that's through from Hobson Dodgel. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 6:14 left in the opening quarter of the 7A state championship game. We have a tie game. Gulfport 7, Tupelo 7. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
We chose to use Environment Masters for our maintenance needs. So I get the phone calls. It's time for your, checkup. We want to schedule you. I appreciate that. That's really helpful.
Our Priority 1 maintenance program gives us the chance to do in-depth maintenance twice a year. We fix small problems before they become big problems. We change filters, clean and calibrate your system so it operates safely and at peak efficiency, all included in your membership. That's hassle-free plumbing and AC.
It's a 7-7 game alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline, Ben Ingram here. And look, Jake, it's Tupelo versus Gulfport. But after watching the first possession for each team, it looks more like J.J. Hill versus Cooper Crosby.
It sure does. And our APAC of Mississippi scoring summary, J.J. Hill with a big touchdown run, 15-yard touchdown, 3 plays, 20 yards, 1:32. And, of course, that was set up by a big kickoff return by Javius Hales.
To kick it away, it's Hobson Dodgel. Has it teed up at the 40, and it's a high end-over-end kick. That'll be caught on the 10-yard line, and they're going to fake a reverse. Bringing it near side is Devontre Brewer. Brewer's going to be hit hard at the 15, breaks 2 tackles, but can't break a third. They drop him at the 12. That'll be a kickoff return of 2 yards where he ran about 60 yards. He went from one sideline to the other and then bounced back to his left again, but picks up just the 2 yards. For personal, business, or commercial banking needs, there's Hancock Whitney. For more information on their banking and wealth management services, their website is HancockWhitney.com. Hancock Whitney, bank where you want, when you want. So Gulfport and the offense back out there. Game tied at 7. 6:05 left in the first quarter of play here in the Pine Straw of America first quarter. Both offenses have touched the ball once, and both offenses have scored a touchdown. Parker Nettles from the pistol formation. Man in motion right to left. Nettles takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out left in the midst of pressure, unloads to the sideline. Pass is caught, breaking a tackle, and heading upfield now is Camden Morgan across the sideline and pushed out of bounds. That's a gain of 10 yards, it appears. Actually, a little bit more than that. That'll be a first down, a gain of 17.
Parker Nettles is a guy that's 5'9". His mom, I was told, was aggravated. He'd only got a couple of offers from junior college, and they said, hey, look, if he was 6'1", he'd go to SEC schools. But you saw right there, pressure in his face, he makes the throw and gets the first down.
He did not panic at all, delivered a strike out there to the sideline. On 1st and 10, an Environment Masters first down. The game tied at 7. Nettles looks over his right shoulder to the sideline. Man to his right is Cooper Crosby. Man in motion left to right. That's the receiver, Javius Hales. It's a handoff. Crosby straight ahead, not much there. Donovan Bell plugging the hole. The sophomore defensive lineman shut it down. It's a gain of 1.5 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which defensive front can kind of stalemate the other running back first. Now, obviously, that's one play there, but Cooper Crosby, that was his 6th carry in the ballgame. He has 40 yards and a touchdown so far.
2nd down and 8 from the 32-yard line. Line of scrimmage is in between the hash marks. Parker Nettles from the pistol formation. A man wide to the left, 2 to the right. Nettles, play action, rolling out right. Has time to throw. Tucks it, goes upfield to the 35, met by a trio of Wave players. and they drop him at the 36-yard line. On the tackle, Trey McCoy. That makes it third down at about 3.5 yards.
Yeah, good job by that Tupelo secondary to really kind of cover up those wide receivers for Gulfport. Hales, Morgan kind of really blanketing those guys, making him tuck it and run it.
3 receivers to the left side, ball on the right hash. From the gun, Nettles. Claps his hands, now pops up and looks towards the sideline. He has his senior running back, Cooper Crosby, set up to his left. Tupelo with a 4-man defensive front. Nettles takes the snap. Play action, slant, dropped right through the hands of his intended receiver. That time he was looking for Mylan Stubbs. It would have been enough for a first down. If he makes that catch, it's a gain of about 6 yards. Now it's 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down. And look, that's something that Gulfport hasn't had happen over the last number of quarters. Is just a kind of a miss opportunity on a play. They're punting for the first time in about 6 quarters. They did not punt against Brandon last week. They only punted early against Petal the week before.
Carter Platt to punt this ball away. Iverson McCoy is deep at the 30-yard line. Here's the snap. He has plenty of time. Spiraling punt, and McCoy has it at the 27-yard line on a fair catch. And that's where Tupelo will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. 36-yard punt by Carter Platt. Game tied at 7, 4:27 left in the opening quarter of play. And Brandon, I think the defense for Tupelo looked a lot better right there. They seem to have their legs under them compared to that first drive for Gulfport.
Thinking the same thing, Ben. Yeah, they come out a little more calm. I tell you what, that was a missed opportunity by Gulfport there. The receiver was trying to run before he caught the football, but nonetheless, it was converted to a 4th down, and we're going to see what Tupelo does here on their second possession.
That's a Mississippi Air National Guard sideline report from Brandon Davis. 7-7 game as Braylon Williams and the offense back out there for Tupelo. Nothing fancy, straight ahead. They look like Kylan Bobo on the carry. Bobo up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 1.5 yards. First time we've said his name in this game, and he's a guy you got to watch, Jake. All the attention on J.J. Hill, but Bobo had a huge season.
Yeah, Kylan Bobo's another Division I running back on this roster for Tupelo. And, you talk about kind of a Batman and Robin, a thunder and lightning, ever how you want to frame it up. Bobo is a complimentary back and a good one for Tupelo.
2nd down and 8 for the Golden Wave. Game tied at 7, 3:53 left in the first quarter. By himself in the backfield, Williams, the quarterback, sends Bobo in motion, fakes the handoff. Williams goes ahead, and he's met by 3 Admirals, and they sink his ship right there at the 25-yard line. That's a big loss on the play. Lawrence Robertson, who had 20 tackles for loss during the season, picks up one right there.
It's going to be interesting. Our stat man and, of course, Jared Schatz, who helps us put this whole thing on with Schatz Media, he got a chance to see Tupelo a few weeks ago, and he said, hey, look, they really didn't throw it a whole lot. Now, is Gulfport going to put them in these type of situations all night? It'll be interesting to see on 3rd and 9 if they put it in the air.
Williams did have 4 passing touchdowns this year, but, yeah, their identity is on the ground. Williams out of the shotgun. To his left is Kylan Bobo. If he does throw, he's going to be looking for either Baskin or Generic. And those are his 2 big receivers. Baskin had a couple of touchdown catches this year. Looking to pass Williams. Fires one over the middle. That's incomplete. That was really good coverage over the middle of the field. He was looking for Baskin, but Cortel Crandall was right in front of the receiver, and it's 4th down.
That's the difference, and, of course, a year makes with teams and their identities, Ben. We saw that last year when Tupelo beat Brandon. They had a quarterback that's at Appalachian State. Now, he could really throw it. This Tupelo team, they're geared more towards the run. So we've seen now both defenses, after giving up touchdowns, now stalemate, and both teams now punting the football.
Trace Wilson will punt the ball, and back deep is Cordarius Payton. He is a sophomore. Payton standing at the 32-yard line. This ball will be punted by Trace Wilson at about the 15-yard line. Game tied at 7. Just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter of play here in the 7A state championship game. Snap is back. Punt is away. Very high but short punt. Bounces at the 46-yard line on the other side of the field and into the boundary and out of bounds. So good field position coming up for Gulfport. That's a 27-yard punt by Trace Wilson.
Yeah, let's keep in mind and let's watch Gulfport, a team that likes the trick play. They haven't shown it yet, but they have done it every week during the playoff run here. You got to think at some point they've got something dialed up they're going to throw out here on this field.
Sounds like that's become their identity, because if you're scheming to face them, that's in the back of your mind the whole week when you're thinking about playing them.
There's no doubt about it.
When are they going to break it out? What's it going to look like? Right now, Parker Nettles is out of the pistol formation. 1st and 10 of the 46-yard line. They're on their own side of the field. Game tied at 7. Nettles from the pistol takes the snap. A handoff around the left end looking for daylight. Crosby fighting for the edge. Not much there. That's a gain of maybe a yard, and they sealed that far side off very quickly.
Let's go down to Brandon Davis. Brandon, we got a great matchup, offensive line, defensive line here. It looks like Tupelo's defensive front might have settled in a little bit against this monstrous Gulfport offensive line.
Well, yeah, I think what you're seeing better movement by this defensive line from Tupelo. They're slanting in hard on the interior of the offensive line, and so far it's a pretty good matchup.
2nd down and 8, Nettles from the gun. Nettles takes the snap, rolling out to his right. Thought about tucking it, now thinks better of it. He's in trouble, has to get rid of it towards the sideline. There with the pressure, Devontre Brewer, he really turned up the heat on Parker Nettles there.
Yeah, he did. Look, Parker Nettles, and the thing is to try to get him off schedule. This is a guy that went 10 for 10 last week to start the South State Championship game against Brandon. He is now 4 of 7 for 71 yards.
3rd down and 8. And again, in their first drive, they had a 3rd and 12 that they converted a 42-yard pass play, and a few plays later got into the end zone. Now another 3rd down opportunity. And the Tupelo defense trying to get off the field with a stop right here. 3rd and 8 from the 46-yard line. Ball on the left hash. Nettles out of the gun. Takes the snap, looking to pass, looking left, fires to the far sideline. Pass is caught up at the 41-yard line. That's a gain of a dozen yards and a 1st down. Javius Hales was on him pretty well. Rather, Javius Hales ran a good route, and the defender was on him pretty well, but Hales made a nice catch.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that back.
Oh, they're saying he was out of bounds?
Let's look at it.
Or did he drop it?
Oh, he had a foot. He
had a foot out of bounds.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He caught it in bounds, but he went out of bounds.
It was Jaden Knox on the defensive side that was blanketing the receiver, and it was a great catch by Hales, but just before the ball got there, he had already stepped out of bounds along that boundary. Otherwise, he stays in bounds. That's a 1st down. So now Carter Platt on the punt. Iverson McCoy back at the 20-yard line to return. The punt is away, end over end. McCoy's got it at the 22. Bounces outside the numbers, trying to get to the sideline, and he's going to be dragged down to the 36-yard line. Flag was thrown back on this side of the field. So McCoy, as it stands, made his way to the 39. That was a 31-yard punt and a return of 14 yards. But again, a penalty flag thrown down to the 40-yard line. And in a moment, we'll hear from Ramon Thompson as he addresses this crowd at Davis Wade Stadium.
During the kick, holding on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down, Tupelo.
So that's a holding against Tupelo on the return. And that'll move them back, and they'll have 1st and 10 a little bit further back downfield. Folks, special thanks to the following supporters of the State Championships Radio Network. College Corner Store, Lost Pizza Company, Little Dewey's, Nucor Steel, as well as the Oxford Falls and Sizemore Catering. Without them, we could not do this. We appreciate their participation and their sponsorship with the State Championships Radio Network. They will move Tupelo all the way back to where, Jake, about the 15-yard, 12-yard line?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to set it down around the 11 or 12. So I got a long way to go here. Great crowd on hand tonight, by the way. Really good crowd here for this last game.
They have come out for the highest classification, 7A championship on the line. 1:45 left in the first quarter. Game tied at 7 between Tupelo and Gulfport. Both teams scored a touchdown on their first drive. And since then, we've seen a few punts. Neither team with a turnover yet. Out of the pistol, Braylon Williams. Man in motion right to left. That's Raines. Williams takes the snap. Here's a handoff, and busting free now, J.J. Hill across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Fielder after a gain of 13 yards and an Environment Masters 1st down.
You know, J.J. Hill just gets low. His center of gravity, he can get down, and he just puts himself behind those pads. And if you see J.J. Hill up close, his lower body, I mean, he is a tree trunk, and I mean, you talk about strength, the guy's got it.
And a big line to run behind. Ran around that left side. That's where Antonio Berry is. He's their junior tackle as he stands at 6'4", 250. An Environment Masters first down for the Golden Wave. From the pistol formation, Braylon Williams. And Williams takes the snap, hands off to Hill. Hill fighting for yardage up the middle between the tackles over the 25 to the 26-yard line. A gain of 5 yards by J.J. Hill. Mario Daniel there for the tackle.
And I think this is the kind of game that Tupelo wants to have here. They just want to grind this thing out. They want to get behind, give the ball to Hill and Bobo, get behind that big offensive front, run this clock. We're down to 49 seconds here in the first quarter and try to get out of here with a win.
2nd down and 5. We'll have just a play or two left here in the opening quarter of play, brought to you by Pine Straw of America. Shotgun formation for Williams, ball on the left hash. Williams sends a screen to the right side, pass caught out to the numbers, and busting up the middle of the field now is the receiver. That'll be a first down. That was hauled in by Caden Lindsey. Lindsey on the catch and a big gain up to midfield. He caught that at the 25-yard line on the screen and then just gashed that Gulfport defense in between the hash marks and the numbers. A gain of 20 yards and an Environment Masters first down. 18 seconds left in the first quarter of play. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation for Williams. Ball on the right hash. Williams takes the snap. Hand off. Hill met in the backfield. Continues to fight forward. Did a nice job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He had Lawrence Robertson draped around his waist. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. So that ends our Pine Straw of America first quarter. And our score at the end of one quarter, Gulfport 7, Tupelo 7, back in 90 seconds. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Delicious, savory barbecue doesn't happen by accident, and great wings don't happen by accident either. Whether you're heating up the smoker or firing up the grill, the award-winning crafted in Mississippi finishing sauces and marinades of the Oxford Falls makes every meal a masterpiece and every bite unforgettable. The Oxford Falls helps make every mouth-watering meal one to remember. Shop now at theoxfordfalls.com and get free shipping on orders over $100.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for 2.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for Pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6!
Pick 6!
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Sports online at BuffaloWildWings.com.
It'll be real interesting to see now as the teams flip the field. Tupelo going left to right on your radio dial or listening device. Gulfport going right to left. If Tupelo, which just showed they can throw it, a big play, a 20-yard passing play from Williams over to Lindsey. If they go back to there, we'll see what they do here. Is they're right at their own 46-yard line.
2nd down and 10. Here's the first play of the second quarter. Ball is at the 46-yard line. This will be a handoff to Hill right over the right tackle. And he breaks free up to the 45-yard line. Andre Peters on the tackle. The ball came loose at the end of the play, and the Admirals fall on it. And there's the first turnover of the game. That's the last guy you expect to drop the ball. Cordarius Payton fell on it. Hales with the hit. Payton fell on it. And as Hill was fighting for extra yardage, he had already picked up 6-7 yards. And amongst that pile, had it ripped out of there.
Brandon, was his knee down?
That's what I'm trying to look at, Jake. It is awfully close, a bang play. But again, give credit to Andre Peters for getting up there and filling that hole. A good fit by the linebacker, and he made a play on Hill.
That was Payton who ripped it out of there and fell on top of it. Great play by Cordarius Payton. So in a 7-7 game, the offense back out on the field. Nettles Out of the shotgun, Nettles takes the snap. He'll hand off. Crosby over right tackle, has a big hole. 40, 35, 30, breaks free. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Cooper Crosby, 54 yards. After the fumble, they need one play, and they're into the end zone to take the lead.
You talk about a guy that just came on the scene this year, already recruited, but prior to this year, but really blew up in the camp circuit this past year. And you see right there, he ran away from Tupelo. And he doesn't do anything that's just special, but man, when he gets north and south, he can flat out go.
So it's a 13-7 game, and now on for the extra point is Carter Platt. Trying to make it a 14-7 game after the Trustmark Bank touchdown. And this is up, and that is through. So with 11:38 left in the second quarter, Gulfport has the lead 14-7. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
Gulfport on top of Tupelo 14-7. 11:38 left in the second quarter. The running back play has been dynamic, but especially for Gulfport. Cooper Crosby just ripped off a 54-yard run for a touchdown. That was after J.J. Hill fumbled on the previous possession for Tupelo. And on the first play that Gulfport had following that turnover, they get it 54 yards downfield into the end zone.
Yeah, that's your Cherokee Brick stat tracker, APAC Mississippi scoring summary, one play, 54 yards. Now Cooper Crosby, courtesy of Cherokee Brick, 8 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averages 140 a game.
Wow.
And he's already almost at 100 right now.
High short kick. That'll be fielded at the 29-yard line. Carter Platt with that high arching kick. Going the other way now as Tupelo up to the 30-yard line. The returner, Noah Hadley, returned it maybe a yard or so. He caught it at the 29. He went far to his left and picked up maybe a yard. And that's where the Golden Wave will scrimmage.
Yeah, all stats and our stat tracker tonight brought to you by Cherokee Brick, supplying bricks across America since 1877.
11:29 left in the second quarter in the Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7. Don't you know that J.J. Hill will be motivated here? He fumbled on that last possession. That led to a Gulfport touchdown. From the pistol formation, Braylon Williams. He'll take the snap. Williams fakes the handoff, keeps it himself around the left side, has a big hole across the 40-yard line up to midfield, and he angles out of bounds. That'll be a run of 21 yards by the quarterback, Braylon Williams.
Yeah, Braylon Williams is a guy, and I don't want to speak, I guess, out of turn here. I know that he was committed to Ole Miss as a defensive back. I do not know that he had signed that scholarship this week or not, but you can see there the flatline speed that he has now. I mean, you got to put all your attention on J.J. Hill. Williams pulls it and picks up a big game.
It's an Environment Masters first down. They've had a lot of success running left. You run behind Christian Schumpert and Antonio Berry, and they've had some big blocks downfield, and that left side of the line bringing the power for the Wave. 1st and 10 of the 49-yard line. Again from the pistol, Braylon Williams. Behind him is Hill. Hand off to Hill. No, that's Bobo. Bounces around to the left side. Inside the 50 to the 45-yard line, met by Lawrence Robertson. It's a gain of 3 yards, and it's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Tupelo right now averaging 6.4 yards per carry. Gulfport averaging 9.9, 10 yards per carry. Both of these run games are delivering as advertised.
I think it's 2nd down and 6. As they gave Kylan Bobo 4 yards on that carry. 14-7, Gulfport leading. Tupelo has it at the Gulfport 45-yard line on the left hash. Williams by himself in the shotgun. They send the man in motion on a sweep. Taking the handoff, Bobo. Hit. Cuts back to the right, looking for a hole there. Nothing there. He's leveled. That'll be a loss on the play. And several Admirals were there. Cordarius Payton led the way. Tell you what, Payton is playing like a man possessed. He ripped the fumble loose on the last possession, had a big hit there along with Pierre Felder.
We'll see if this is 4-down territory. Big third down play coming up here for Tupelo. They have the ball on the 45-yard line of Gulfport. 10-12 to go, and they are trailing. We'll see what Ty Harden and Tupelo dial up right here.
So make it third down, and at the 45-yard line on the right hash. 3rd and 6. Looking to the sideline, Braylon Williams. Tupelo trying to figure out what they want to dial up right here. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Pistol formation for Williams in the Golden Wave. Behind him is Bobo, a man in motion left to right. And now the whistle's blow and the play is blown dead right as the ball was snapped. That'll be a delay of game.
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout was called to avoid the delay of game.
Timeout of the half.
So Tupelo burns the timeout. And we'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
It's the 7A State Championship game coming to you from Davis Wade Stadium on the campus of Mississippi State here in Starkville. Gulfport leading Tupelo 14-7 here in our Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter. So with 9:41 left in the quarter, Tupelo has it 3rd and 6 from the Gulfport 45-yard line. Ball is on the right hash. Tupelo comes out with 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Out of the pistol formation, Braylon Williams, a 4-man defensive front for Gulfport. Tupelo sends a man in motion. Williams is going to roll out left and fire over his intended receiver, incomplete. He was trying to hit Noah Hadley out of the backfield and threw it too tall for him, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, let's see what they do here. Do they go for this or maybe pooch kick it and try to pin Gulfport deep as just nowhere to go with that football, and right on top of everything, Gulfport swarming defensively.
Been very impressed with what Gulfport has displayed here in the first half. I mean, first and foremost at the top of the list, Cooper Crosby. I mean, he is the real deal as their running back. But their defense has made some plays. I think Cordarius Payton has been the man who has stood out more than anyone. He is a sophomore, Payton is. And he forced a fumble a moment ago, and he's had some big tackles as well. Trace Wilson out to punt the ball away. Payton is back deep to field the punt. Punt is away off the foot of Wilson. This will bounce at the 19, roll inside the 15, take a Tupelo roll inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 4-yard line. Big punt there by Trace Wilson, a 42-yard punt, and that swings the field, and now a lot of field in front of this Gulfport offense, but to this point, that hasn't seemed to matter. Their offense has looked outstanding here in the first half of this game. They have a 14-7 lead with 9:25 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, 170 yards of total offense for Gulfport so far tonight. 71 through the air, 99 on the ground. And let's see what they do here. Do they maybe bring out a trick play here? Get a little risky here. For Tupelo, it's about, hey, look, we can flip the field here. We've one field position right now. I mean, if we can get the ball back, we'll be in good shape.
Quarterback Parker Nettles out of the pistol formation, standing 1 yard back in the end zone. Behind him is Cooper Crosby. 1 wide to either side. They stack the offensive line. 5-man defensive front for Tupelo. Here's the snap, handoff to Crosby. Brings it left side to the numbers outside the 10. Has first down yardage up to the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 yards by Crosby. Finally brought down by McCoy, and it's an Environment Masters first down up to the 19.
Let's go down to Brandon Davis. Brandon McCoy trying to arm tackle Crosby. You just can't do that.
Yeah, he got his eyes caught in the backfield. He had bad placement there, and yeah, you're right, Jake. You cannot arm tackle this Cooper. He is just doing a fantastic job running the ball tonight.
Yeah, he is a lot of fun to watch. Cooper Crosby. He's set up to the right of the quarterback, Nettles, out of the shotgun on the Environment Masters first down. 1st and 10 to the 19-yard line. Man in motion left to right, that's Hales. Here's the snap. Crosby goes right this time, met by a couple of Golden Wave players, led by Jarraylen McCoy. It's a gain of 2.5 yards. That makes it second down.
Gulfport with some breathing room now. They punch the ball out of the shadows of the end zone. Their own end zone now out to the 22-yard line. Second down at about 7. We'll see if they try to open this thing up. So far, Nettles 4 of 8 for 71 yards through the air.
Everybody on the offensive side for the Admirals looking very sharp here in the first half. 2nd down and 7. Man in motion right to left. Nettles out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hand off to Cooper Crosby around the right side, outside the numbers. 1st down and more. That kid can fly. Out of bounds up at the 38-yard line. The bolt of lightning and another 1st down after a gain of 16 yards.
You know, the thing is, McCoy, the guy, that's 2 plays in a row. McCoy almost shadowing Cooper Crosby. He ran away from McCoy. McCoy's who had the big kickoff return for Tupelo. I mean, just the speed of Cooper Crosby to just run away from defenders is very impressive.
Crosby accounted for 39 touchdowns during the season. 32 on the ground, 7 through the air. He's got 1 in this one already. 1st down and 10 from the pistol. Here's the snap. Crosby takes it around the right end up to the 45, spins out of a tackle. That's another 1st down, a gain of 11. McCoy with a tackle, but Cooper Crosby is gashing them here on this drive.
He really is. He's starting to get a lot of momentum, and right now Cooper Crosby already approaching that average. 12 carries, 130 on the game. Check that. He just went over it. The stats just moved 12 carries, 141, so he's already at his game-per-game average.
Wow. 1st and 10 of the 49-yard line from the shotgun, and now whistles blow. They try to get Hales out there right at the last moment.
Yeah, they was running the old Brandon. I think they were running the old. They did it against Petal. Slipped the receiver on the field at the last minute. There was your trick play. Tupelo called it.
That was exactly what they were doing, Jake, and Ty Harden does not seem to appreciate it.
Well, timeout will be taken. We'll take it with them. A 90-second timeout. 7:45 left in the 2nd quarter. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7. Back in 90 seconds. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Yeah, Ty was pretty ticked about that.
She had a good coach that pointed her in the right direction, and we were able to get to her quick enough, and she's young and healthy enough that she's going to have a great outcome.
I would say the biggest difference is just how Dr. Moss explained everything. I went into my 2nd surgery knowing exactly what after surgery was going to look like, what during surgery was going to look like, and it just made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident with my outcome.
Back at Davis Wade Stadium here in Starkville. Gulfport leading Tupelo 14-7 in the 7A state championship game alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline. Ben Ingram here with you. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7, and this offense for Gulfport has been the story. And under the microscope, Cooper Crosby, senior running back, already well over 100 yards in this game. And Gulfport doing a great job of setting him up and using his speed. On 1st and 10 out of the pistol formation. Line of scrimmage, the 49. Gulfport on their side of the field. Pistol formation for Nettles. And he takes the snap. Handoff. Crosby brings it to the left side. Around the edge. 45-40. Angling to the sideline. All the way up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 21 yards. Brewer finally got him out of bounds. There is a flag down back of the 45 and likely a holding on the Admirals. That takes a 21-yard gain off the board.
Sorry about that, Ben. I want to go back to that last play on the timeout, and Jared was telling us during the break, They can, and Brandon, jump in here, they can call a deception penalty potentially on that. They were trying to slip that receiver back out and do a little razzle-dazzle there.
Well, I think that's what Ty was talking about. They were already set. The defense was already set. The offense was already set. Then they run a player out there at the last second, and that's really what he was fussing about. And I can't say that I blame him.
But that is a judgment call is the way I understand it.
Absolutely. That's what I understand as well.
Well, Blake Pennock really good at dialing up those trick plays. He's got a file full of them. And he was trying to get one on to surprise Tupelo right there. And then they use the timeout. On that first play out of the timeout, a holding call. Same formation for Gulfport at the 44-yard line out of the pistol. Nettles awaiting the snap. Here's the snap to Nettles. He drops it, picks it up, in trouble, slings it incomplete to the sideline. I think that's got to be a flag, is it not?
There it is, intentional grounding. Yeah.
All right, so they throw the flag on the intentional grounding. He was still in between the tackles. And that play was a disaster from the get-go as he dropped the snap. There's an injured Golden Wave player down on the field. So they will tend to him with 7:25 left in the second quarter. We'd like to thank the following MHSAA sponsors: Outlets of Mississippi, located at the intersection of Highway 80 and Bass Pro Drive in Pearl. It's the Outlets of Mississippi. More savings, more fabulous. And Starkville.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and it carries a loss of down.
And there's that penalty we're talking about. Starkville, Mississippi's college town. There's always something new to experience in Mississippi's college town. More information at starkville.org. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau. The injured player for Tupelo was Iverson McCoy, and good news is he's up on his feet and walking to the Tupelo sideline. Doesn't need any help in doing so, so that's good news. Meanwhile, it is 2nd down and 20 for Gulfport. Actually, I think it's further than that. Yeah, the scoreboard says 2nd and 20. It's much further than that. It's line of scrimmage is the 22-yard line. They need to reach the 41 on the other side of the field. To pass to the sideline. Pass caught by Hales up the seam along the left sideline across the 35 up to the 38. Knocked down by Jaden Knox. And a gain of 18 yards on that catch by Javius Hales.
3 catches, 50 yards. Hales, of course, the big playmaker on the edge. Check that, 3 catches, 65 yards. Longest to 42. He's been targeted 4 times so far tonight.
So now it's 3rd and 20. After they gained 18 on that play. From the pistol, Parker Nettles. Behind him, Crosby. Man in motion right to left. That's Cooper Gwynn. And now they want to change the play, looking towards the sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7, 6:40 left in the second quarter. From the gun, Nettles takes the snap. Nettles looking to his right, still looking right. Fires over the middle, pass is incomplete. He was just a little bit behind his intended receiver, Mylan Stubbs. If he hits him in stride, that could have been a big gain, but Braylon McGluen was able to get his hand on it and knock it incomplete. 4th down.
Big play by McGluen. Big play there. Able to bat that down, and that's what Tupelo needed. They needed a stop to kind of slow this offense down. They're going to get the football back. 6:32 to go here in the second quarter.
Punter Carter Platt out there to boom it away. He stands at the 24-yard line. And back deep for Tupelo is Iverson McCoy. And that's good news for Tupelo as he was hurt a little while ago. They get some pressure on the punter, but he gets it away. McCoy says fair catch, and he snags it to the 24-yard line. After he caught it, he was bumped by Devontre Brewer. Some of the Tupelo fans wanted a penalty flag thrown. No flags. That's a punt of 38 yards. 1st and 10 for Tupelo there at the 24-yard line.
Williams for Tupelo, the quarterback, 1 of 3 for 20 yards. When you look at some of the stats here, J.J. Hill, 7 carries for 43 yards. Colin Bobo, 3 carries for 6 yards. Williams, the quarterback, 2 carries for 21 yards. That is a Cherokee Brick stat tracker update.
So now Tupelo's offense onto the field. They scored on their first drive of the game. They've not scored since then. 6:22 left in the second quarter of the 7A state championship game. Braylon Williams out of the pistol formation. Behind him, J.J. Hill. Hill gets the call, goes to his right, hit at the 25-yard line and a gain of a yard. That'll make it 2nd down and 9.
It's going to be interesting to see what Ty Harden does with these two backs. Right now, J.J. Hill, 8 carries. Colin Bobo, 3 carries. I know he likes to try to distribute the ball to both, but does he turn to Hill in a situation where he becomes a 20, 25 carry back in this ball game?
Well, they have a 7-point lead as Gulfport. Of course, for Tupelo, they can throw it a little bit, but they like to rely on the legs of J.J. Hill. Hill takes the handoff. He goes up the middle, hit once, hit twice, and brought down right there. Lawrence Robertson on the tackle. They say he picked up a couple. DeAndre Williams also there on the tackle as well. And I'm curious to see how Hill responds after that early fumble. We haven't seen much out of him since then.
No, we haven't. We'll see. Again, it shakes people differently. Now, Hill, the 2-time Mr. 7A Player of the Year. Right now, though, Gulfport defensively giving him everything he wants.
It's 3rd down and 6. Gulfport leading by a touchdown. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Braylon Williams by himself in the shotgun. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. And now the whistle's blowing, a timeout called by Gulfport with 4:55 left in the 2nd quarter.
Timeout.
So we'll take the timeout as well.
First charge.
Step aside for 30 seconds. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7, 4:55 left in the 2nd quarter. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau. It is great to have you with us tonight for the 7A State Championship game. It's the final game of State Championship Weekend 2025. Alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline, Ben Ingram here with you. Our score, Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7, 4:55 left in the 2nd quarter. Tupelo with the ball, looking at 3rd down and 6 from their own 30-yard line. From the shotgun, Braylon Williams. Man in motion left to right, Williams to pass. Screen to the far side, incomplete. That was right through the hands of the receiver. That was close to a lateral, but an incomplete pass as he was looking for Baskin, the receiver.
Yeah, I thought it was too, Ben. I thought it was very close to a lateral. They were trying to hit the old tunnel screen there, but that ball was thrown way off schedule, making it very difficult. Let's go down to Brandon Davis with a sideline update.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. I'm telling you, this Gulfport defense is playing ultra-inspired. You look at quarterback Braylon Williams from Tupelo. He just looks out of sync right now. If you notice on that last play, that incomplete, his body language is all out of sort, and it's not looking good right now for Tupelo.
Thank you, Brandon, on the Mississippi Air National Guard sideline report. On to punt the ball now for Tupelo, Trace Wilson, and back deep, Cordarius Payton. Payton stands at the 40-yard line. And Wilson will be punting this ball away from the 17. Right-footed punter hangs one high. Under it and calling fair catch is Payton. And he's got it at the 40-yard line. A 30-yard punt off the foot of Trace Wilson. So 4:39 left in the 2nd quarter. And Gulfport has moved the ball very well. And if it's not for the penalties on that last drive, I'm not convinced that they would not have scored again. And looking at where we are in this game with 4:39 left in the 2nd quarter, they find a way into the end zone here, and they could be looking at a 2-touchdown lead going to the locker room at halftime. They have 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Parker Nettles, senior quarterback. He's done a very nice job back there, and of course Cooper Crosby has been the biggest name in their offense in this game tonight. They'll send a few men in motion, going from the left side of the line to the right. From the gun, Nettles. Waiting on the snap. Here it is. Nettles, play action, rolling out right, looking to pass. Has a man wide open. Left side, caught by Morgan, now dropped by Morgan. Boy, he was so open. How did he miss him? Watching that play, he was going down the left sideline and I thought he had a hand on it. He overthrew him. And he went back to his right and just never got his eyes on the ball.
Yeah, Camden Morgan wide open. And, boy, Parker Nettles, we have seen him with precision passing. That's the first one we've seen him airmail probably in this playoff run they've had.
he makes that catch, I don't think they catch him. He would have gone into the end zone.
On the defense.
But a
10-yard
hold
penalty
on Tupelo
from the
now.
previous spot results in a first down.
That'll be a first down, so they missed the pass, but they get the penalty. And that moves them to the 49-yard line on Tupelo's side of the field. 4:31 left in the second quarter. Gulfport leading by a touchdown. Late personnel change for Gulfport as they send Mylan Stubbs out onto the field. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Out of the pistol formation, Parker Nettles. Nettles takes the snap, handoff Crosby up the middle, then to his left, runs into 3 Golden Wave defenders, and he's brought down to the 47-yard line, a gain of 2 yards.
Yeah, 9 first downs for Gulfport so far tonight. 4 first downs for Tupelo. Third down not kind to either team. 1 of 5 for Gulfport on third down. 1 of 4 for Tupelo so far in the ballgame.
Jaraylin McCoy on the tackle for Tupelo. Right at the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter. And Gulfport challenged with a 2nd down and 8 from the Tupelo 47-yard line. Ball's on the left hash. Out of the shotgun. Here's the handoff. Crosby takes it from Nettles. Goes in between the tackles. Across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Brought down by Donovan Hawkins. And that will present them a 3rd down and 4 as he gained 4 yards on that carry.
Again, 1 of 5 on third down tonight is Gulfport. They've got 3:30 until the half, and they had just crossed over into Tupelo territory.
So here's 3rd down. They send a man in motion to the right side of the line. That's Cooper Gwynn. And now they'll change the play. We're in the Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter. And 3rd and 4 here for the Admirals, looking to move the chains. From the shotgun, it's Nettles. Nettles takes the snap, looking to pass. Here's the pressure. They're all over him, and it's tipped to the line of scrimmage and drops incomplete. He had 3 Golden Wave players right in his grill and did his best just to get rid of it. And that brings up 4th down after the incompletion.
Yeah, very impressed with what Tupelo's doing right there. You look at Patton, also Brewer, Devontre Brewer. They brought the house right there and said, hey, look, Nettles, if you're going to get this ball off, you're going to do it quickly.
They're going to go for it on 4th down and 4 from the shotgun. Nettles takes the snap, and where is the ball right now? Flag is thrown out. They never snapped the ball. They just started running to the sideline. They had another trick play up their sleeve.
They did this against Brandon last week. Drew Brandon off, like you said, just ran everybody to the sideline.
Let's hear it from Ramon Thompson.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, simulating a snap action, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Blake Pennick is confused down there. He's talking to one of the officials. Why the flag?
Well, Jared's talking to us here. You know, this is, again, Brandon, it is one of those deals where it's kind of up to the judgment of the official.
Well, and I would say that time, and everyone was running toward the sideline except the H-back that was going toward the line of scrimmage. So, really, by rule, he was set and he's going toward the line. That should be a false start.
And that's exactly what it was. Now they will punt the ball away with 3:02 left. Iverson McCoy is back deep for Tupelo. He stands at the 17-yard line. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7, 3:02 left in the first half. The punt is almost blocked. He got it away, did Carter Platt. And that'll bounce to the 20-yard line and bounces out of bounds inside the 15. They say the 14-yard line. A punt of 34 yards for Carter Platt, and 1st and 10 Tupelo at their own 14-yard line.
Wave has 2:53 to work with.
They have a 1 timeout.
Thank you, sir. I was looking for their timeouts there. So we'll see what they do here. They would love to bring this thing back even going into the half.
Ace Bolt and Screw, providing fasteners across America since 1969 for all your needs. Industrial, commercial, construction. Locations can be found in Tupelo, Gluckstadt, Greenwood, Richland, and Laurel. That's Ace Bolt and Screw. We appreciate their sponsorship and helping us put these games on over the course of this state championship weekend. This is the final game of the weekend. 7A title on the line between Tupelo and Gulfport. On 1st down, J.J. Hill up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks 2 to the 25, up to the 27-yard line. That'll be a first down by J.J. Hill and Tupelo as he runs it for a dozen yards. Finally brought down by DeAndre Williams.
Boy, that was one of those punishing J.J. Hill runs. You can see it from up here at our vantage point. He was just running right through blue jerseys.
Still plenty of time for them to stick with their game plan. They like to run the ball, get the ball in the hands of Hill and Bobo. 2:45 left in the second quarter. We've seen Braylon Williams throw a few times, and he can throw a little bit, but their strength is on the ground. And again, they have one timeout left. From the pistol formation, Braylon Williams claps his hands, takes the snap. Williams, play action, sends it out to the left side. Pass caught by Raines outside the hash marks to the numbers, angling to the sideline all the way up to midfield. And that'll be a gain of 22 yards and a first down. That was a nice play.
Really nice play. And the receiver, I believe that was McEwen on the far side. He got a stalk block on the edge and really pushed that guy backwards. And that was a great job by, check that, that's Noah Hadley, wide receiver, on the stalk block. That puts the ball right at the 50-yard line.
First down brought to you by Environment Masters. They have it at the 50-yard line on the left hash, 2:27 left in the second quarter. Williams awaiting the snap, sends a man in motion left to right. Williams takes a snap, looking downfield. Has time, scrambles out to his right. He unloads down the middle of the field, looking for Hill. One-on-one incomplete, but a flag thrown. Hill was locked up with Andre Peters, and that drew the flag down there at the 15-yard line.
Should be pass interference, Ben.
That should have been an easy call for that official.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty is 15 yards and results in a first down.
Brandon Peters was just about tackling J.J. Hill as he was looking for that ball.
Oh, well, he wasn't turning around looking for the football. If he's turning around, he had a chance here, but, Hill just snuck out of the backfield, and Peters wasn't able to cover him like he needed to.
So after that penalty, the new line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line. 2:18 left in the second quarter. Tupelo trailing by a touchdown. It's 14-7 Gulfport. Tupelo trying to find a way into the end zone and get this game tied up before halftime. 1st and 10 after the penalty. Pistol formation for Williams and the Golden Wave. Williams keeps it himself around the left side, can't find the edge. 3 Admirals there, no gain on the play as he's dropped at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, a little RPO action with the quarterback Williams. Gulfport not fooled, playing very disciplined football right there, and a good job by that defensive front 7 to get him down. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Penalties tonight, 5 penalties for Gulfport, 40 yards, 2 penalties for 20 yards for Tupelo, and that is a Cherokee Brick stat tracker update.
Under 2 minutes left in the Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Williams with Hill to his left out of the shotgun. Play action, pass over the middle, tipped and incomplete. He was looking for that slant route as Day Generic was going across the field, and the Admirals got a paw on it.
I like the play call there on 2nd down, looking for the slant route. He was open, Generic was open, but a good job by Gulfport to be reactionary of sorts to bat that ball away.
DeAndre Williams got his hands on it. Williams has been great for them all year. The linebacker 2nd on the team in tackles with 102 of them. And that time deflecting the pass down. So now it's 3rd and 10 with 1:37 left in the second quarter. Williams from the shotgun takes the snap, runs right, looking for the edge. And he's met by 2 Admirals. They drop him for a loss. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play. Pierre Fielder and Cordarius Payton like missiles right to the quarterback and blew up the play.
Yeah, good job. You just stretch that out, and take it all the way to the sideline. Really take Williams off target and off schedule on where he wanted to be on that play. Now 4th down and 12.
And they keep the offense on the field, at least for now. Braylon Williams looking to the sideline. 1:05 and counting left in the second quarter.
Timeout.
And they will take a timeout. Gulfport wants to burn the timeout. And we'll take a 30-second timeout. 1:01 left in the second quarter. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell, but it's nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. If you think you smell, see, or hear signs of a leak, don't do anything that might cause a spark. Leave immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. There's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
1:01 left until halftime. We're in the Buffalo Wild Wings second quarter. Great to have you with us alongside Jake Wimberly. And down to the sideline, Brandon Davis, Ben Ingram here with you. 4th and 13 coming up here for Tupelo. They're trailing Gulfport 14-7. And they will bring the punter, Trace Wilson, onto the field. And maybe if they're a little bit closer, they'd perhaps think about going for this. But 4th and 13 from the 39, they're going to boom this away. Cordarius Payton stands at the 10-yard line awaiting the punt return. Trace Wilson stands at the 48. Snap to him is a good one. And the punter puts his right foot into this. End over end punt. Caught at the 6-yard line. And bouncing away now, Payton breaks a tackle up to the 10-yard line. That'll be a return of 3 yards. 32-yard punt by Trace Wilson. And with 51 seconds left, Jake, Gulfport takes over, and let's see what they can do here.
Let's see if they get aggressive or if they're content with a 7-point lead going in at the half. And I was not here for the coin toss. I believe, did Tupelo win the toss and deferred? And deferred.
Correct.
So the Wave will get the ball in the second half. Or does Gulfport maybe pull a trick out of the bag here and try to catch Tupelo falling asleep at the wheel here before the half?
Well, with what we've learned here in the first half, even if they just run the ball and try to run the clock out, that doesn't mean that Cooper Crosby can't break one. He's been extremely impressive here in the first half. Pistol formation for Gulfport. Handoff, Crosby up the middle, now to his left, out to the 15, up to the 20, and brought down right on the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9. Every time he touches the ball, Jake, it's 8, 9, 10, 12 yards. Big carries.
No, it is. That was his 16th carry of this ball game. He's well over his average. He averages 140.5 yards per contest. He's already at 156 in one half.
So impressive. 2nd down and 1 from the pistol, Nettles. Behind him, Crosby. Nettles sends a man in motion left to right. Nettles takes the snap. Handoff, Crosby, flea flicker. Nettles drifts out to his left, now back to his right. He's got to get rid of it. Sends one deep to the sideline. Nobody home. Incomplete. He did a good job just to create some space to get rid of that ball.
He did, and there it was. A little give to the running back, give it back to the quarterback. The old-fashioned throwback pass. But Tupelo did a great job of really breaking that thing up and getting pressure on him.
Caden Buchanan right in the quarterback's face. He just about blew that up in the backfield. So now 3rd and 1, 8 seconds left in the second quarter. Looking to the sideline, Nettles has his hands up like, what do you want me to do here? Gets the call from Blake Pennock. Out of the pistol formation, Crosby right behind Nettles. Nettles takes the snap. Nettles hands off. Crosby around the right end across the 20. Has a first down outside the hash marks. Pushed out to the numbers all the way to the sideline. And that's where he's brought down, is on the sideline. I mean, that kid refused to go down. He was wearing Iverson McCoy, the defender, who was shoving him out of bounds. And that will end the first half. So one half behind us in the 7A state championship. Gulfport has been making a statement. They lead defending champion Tupelo 14-7. We'll be back in 3 minutes. On the other side of this break, Breck Riley will be with you for the Army National Guard halftime report. Again, our halftime score, Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7. Back in 3 minutes on the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.
Never settle when building or remodeling your home. You may think you can't afford brick, but you can. For less than $1 a day, you can own a full brick home. The money you save on painting, heating, and cooling costs, along with lower insurance, will put money back in your pocket. Go to CherokeeBrick.com to see how affordable brick really is. Spend less, save more on the look you want. Cherokee Brick. Life's just better with brick.
When the job calls for contractor-grade industrial supplies, start where the pros go. Ace Bolt and Screw. We've got fasteners for every job. Bolts, screws, anchors, and more, built to handle the toughest work. No waiting, no guesswork. Just the right tools and fasteners right when you need it. And when you've got questions, our friendly, knowledgeable staff is always here to help. Ace Bolt and Screw. Your project, our industrial supplies. Get it done right.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
My family was involved in a terrible car wreck.
They needed blood immediately. Mississippi Blood Services provided the life-sustaining blood they needed.
You don't think about this happening to your family, but it happens every day.
The need for blood could hit your family next. So don't let fear of needles, a busy schedule, or random excuses keep you from saving your family.
Another
life could depend on you.
From the seed, and the soil grows row after row. We take care of this land, using just the right amount of our natural resources and never more than we need.
We are only one of thousands, but we are united as one to grow the food, fiber, and shelter you need every day. Because Mississippi needs us. Mississippi needs farmers, the farm families of Mississippi.
What started in 1847 with asphalt paving experiments, over 175 years later has grown into an industry-leading transportation construction company and materials provider. Our operations span across multiple states, which include asphalt plants, construction crews, sand and gravel operations, stone yards, a limestone quarry, as well as river unload facilities.
And welcome in to the Mississippi Army National Guard halftime show here from Davis Wade Stadium on the campus of Mississippi State University at the half of the 7A game. It is 14-7. Gulfport leads Tupelo. Tupelo trying to go back-to-back. Every team this year that's tried to go back-to-back has lost already. West Point lost and Heidelberg lost. So, yeah, teams trying to go back-to-back doesn't bode well, and this score holds up. It would be 0 for 3, but the Army National Guard serving our communities and country from responding to natural disasters to supporting missions at home and abroad. The Mississippi National Guard stands ready. More online at ng.ms.gov. And we have another guest joining us here. We've had Mississippi Army National Guard guests all throughout the weekend, but right now we are joined by Alice Claire Scott from College and Career Savings of Mississippi. Thanks for being on with us here at halftime.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so for those that might not be familiar, what exactly is College and Career Savings of Mississippi?
College and Career Savings Mississippi is the state treasury's way of helping families prepare for educational needs and career needs in the future. So we've got two plans: super flexible Max, which is like a savings account, interest-bearing savings account, and then we've got a prepaid plan called Impact. A lot of people have heard about, started in '97, that you lock in today's tuition rate to prevent from inflation in the future.
Yeah. Okay. So what kinds of education paths does it support? Is it college, career training, community college? What is it? All of it? What does it support?
So a lot of people think Impact, and they think, okay, that's just tuition, and it is. It's just tuition, mandatory fees. But our Max program's super flexible. You can use that for a 2-year, 4-year apprenticeship programs. Even teachers can use it for continuing education and classroom supplies. So Max can even be used for private K through 12 education. So really flexible, can fit any budget, any family, whatever you're thinking. We've got a plan for you.
Yeah. So why is it important for families to start thinking about saving for college early? Because I mean, a lot of people think, well, I've got time, but like we say, third grade is halfway to college.
It is, which is kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about.
It is. I've got twin fourth graders, and I can't believe they're over halfway there.
You're on the back side.
Absolutely.
You're on the other side of it.
Downhill, right?
Yeah.
So it's just important to just start now. Students that have something saved are statistically more likely to go on and continue their education after high school. And again, that can be trade school, that can be apprenticeship program. It doesn't necessarily have to be this structured 4-year university. There are a lot of other options. So you can do a little bit of anything.
Yeah, of course. Mississippi has a good JUCO system. A lot of junior colleges throughout the state, and they have programs. I know one of our partners, Holmes Community Colleges, has a lineman program.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
I know a little bit. My dad was a lineman for 30 years, so I know a little bit about that. That sort of job and how it impacts. But as far as the success stories for people that get into the savings, what have you seen since you've been working with college and career savings of Mississippi?
I think one of my favorite success stories is one of my newest employees, Charlotte. She went through school, graduated from Ole Miss. Her parents invested in Impact early, and so I tell her she's an Impact baby. That's what I tell people that have programs and get on through. And so she now gets to talk to customers and families and educators about what Impact did for her, what her family did, and why it was a great investment. And so she's just one story, of course, and she's on my team, but we just got a ton of amazing stories.
Yeah, and as far as like the amounts, you put in any amount per month? Is there a minimum amount? Do you have to do it manually? Can it draft?
Sure.
How does that work?
Absolutely. So you can start a plan for as little as $25. You can set it up to automatically draft. We can even do payroll deductions, so set it up with your employer. You can send in a check. Anyway, we even have PayPal Venmo now in our gifting portal. So I know a lot of young people now are not using cash. They're not using cards. They're using digital wallets. So we've got that availability. We're just trying to meet people where they are, and crypto's even in there.
Yeah, a lot of ways to save, and that's kind of what you have to do. Everything's always changing.
Always.
And as you said, you can lock it in before the inflation gets too crazy, that seems to happen just about every other day. And so if anybody wants more information about college and career savings, or if they have maybe some questions, right? Maybe they don't understand it fully. What can they do?
They can go to treasury.ms.gov and go in our college and career savings. There's a ton of information on our website. But we are always happy at Treasurer McRae's office to, he's big on customer service, and so we are happy to talk to anybody. You can call our office, come down and see us in Jackson. We're happy to help anybody anytime.
Yeah, and we're here at the football state championships, right? Some of these guys are going to be getting their school paid for, right?
Absolutely.
But not everyone.
Not everybody.
Not everybody
right.
does. So that's why you need a savings plan for, as I said, college or career. We're Alice Claire Scott from the College and Career Savings of Mississippi and State Treasurer David McRae's office. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the halftime show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to step aside for a 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll continue at the half. Gulfport ahead, 14-7. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6!
Pick 6!
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
From the Blues Trail to hiking trails. From history and heritage tours to galleries and museums. From hidden treasures to culinary delights. It's all right here in Columbus, Mississippi. Plan your trip today. Catch you in Columbus.
3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line.
Sure you're ready for this?
He takes a snap, drops back.
What's the right situation for a flea flicker?
They should have been in nickel defense.
There's a nickel and a dime?
Now for a proper bull rush start of 3-point stance.
What a disastrous play call.
Ready or not, here we go.
Hey, Dad.
You can call me Coach.
It's amazing what C Spire's nationwide 5G network can connect. C Spire, inspired by you.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
When your AC goes out, your sink leaks, or your breakers are tripping, you need help fast from someone you can trust. That's why we work hard to have the fastest service times and the most knowledgeable technicians in Central Mississippi. Our promise to you, at your door and under 24. So don't wait days for others to show up. Call Environment Masters for hassle-free plumbing, electrical, and AC. At your door and under 24, because it's not cool to make you wait.
Wendy's has new chicken. chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
And welcome back into the Army National Guard halftime show from Mississippi State University Davis Wade Stadium. The Gulfport band is on the field entertaining the crowd, and I'm wondering if I should be offended. I wonder if Bill Wilson and I should be offended because they're playing "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles, right? Come on. Yeah, come on now. We're still on the radio, so we're still not saying that Bill Wilson and I are radio stars. Maybe Ben Ingram is, off to our left, voice of the Atlanta Braves. But, like you said, me and Bill, we might not be stars, but we're still around. And so, as I said, they're having a good time performing sort of a 1980s, I want my MTV sort of thing there. But they got something to smile about because their team is ahead here at the half, 14-7. They lead it over the Tupelo Golden Wave in the final state championship game of the weekend. As we're going to crown the champ. Not only that, we're going to get bragging rights for the North versus the South because as it stands right now, the North divisions have won 3 championships, and the South divisions have won 3 championships. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens here. But not a lot of scoring to tell you about, but we do have some highlight clips for you here on those C Spire calls of the game. It was Gulfport that got things started early in the ball game at the 7:59 mark. It was the Mississippi State signee Cooper Crosby running it in from 20 yards out. That was a 10-play, 80-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 1 second off the clock. Here's Ben Ingram on that call right here on the State Championships Radio Network.
They go with Crosby behind Nettles. Nettles takes the snap, handoff Crosby around the left side, has a hole inside the 10 to the 5, barreling into the end zone. Touchdown Admirals. It's 6-0 on.
So that was that made it 7-0 after the PAT was good. It wouldn't stay that very long as the Tupelo Golden Wave would come back and tie it very quickly. Just a minute and a half later at the 6-minute 14-second mark, J.J. Hill, another Mississippi State signee, was able to get in the end zone on a long run of his own. That was 3 plays, 20 yards, 1 minute 32 seconds off the clock, and that made it 7-7 after the PAT was good. Here's Ben Ingram on that call.
Formation with J.J. Hill in his rearview mirror. Moving to the right side of the line is Tyquez Raines. Handoff is time to Hill. Bounces left side, has the first down and more. Inside the 5, dives for the goal line, and J.J. Hill is in. It's a touchdown for the Golden Wave. A heavy dose of J.J. Hill.
So that was all the scoring in the first quarter. We ended it tied at 7. And then with just 22 seconds off of the clock in the second quarter, it was Cooper Crosby again finding the end zone. How about a 1-play, 54-yard drive that took 9 seconds? It was capped off with a 54-yard run. And here's Ben Ingram with that C Spire call.
Nettles out of the shotgun. Nettles takes the snap. He'll hand off. Crosby over right tackle, has a big hole. 40, 35, 30, breaks free. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Cooper Crosby, 54 yards.
And that's where we stand right now here at the half, 14-7. Those scoring drives are brought to you by APAC of Mississippi. Let's give you some stats here in the first half, brought to you by Cherokee Brick. Total yards favors the Admirals, 237 to 128 for Tupelo. Passing yardage also favors the Admirals, 86 to Tupelo's 43. Rushing yardage, that's a feather in the Gulfport cap as well, 151 to Tupelo's 85. Gulfport has also had more penalties than Tupelo, 5 for 40 yards. The Golden Wave, 2 for 20 yards. 10 first downs for Gulfport to 7 for Tupelo. Third down conversions, Gulfport 2 out of 7, 1 out of 5, Tupelo. And for fourth downs, Gulfport's batting 1,000, 1 out of 1. Total plays for Gulfport, 31. Total plays for the Tupelo Golden Wave, just 23. As we look at time of possession, it favors Gulfport with 12 minutes and 34 seconds to Tupelo's 11 minutes and 26 seconds. Some individual stats for you. Cooper Crosby, 16 carries for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Parker Nettles through the air, 5 out of 12 for 86 yards. When you look at the Tupelo numbers through the air, Braylon Williams, 2 out of 6 for 43 yards. And then on the ground, you do have J.J. Hill, 10 carries for 61 yards and the 1 touchdown. Williams has carried it 4 times for 18 yards. And also getting a carry was Kylan Bobo, 3 carries for 6 yards. So that's your stats, brought to you by Cherokee Brick, supplying bricks across America since 1877. Also, we want to say in football, having a game plan is everything, and the same is true for college admissions. At Binnacle Education Group, they help students and parents navigate the admissions and financial aid game. Binnacle gives families the strategies they need to succeed. From college and trade school advising to competition essays, resumes, and interview skills, Binnacle prepares your student to win on and off the field. More online at binedgroup.com. No, it's halftime. It's 14-7. We appreciate you tuning in here on the State Championships Radio Network. A number of ways for you to listen, like on the network across the state of 9 affiliates statewide on ESPN 105.9 The Zone, WRKS in Jackson, and then on Mississippi Public Broadcasting stations all around the state of Mississippi. In Biloxi, WMAH 90.3, Boonville, WMAE 89.5, in Bude, it's WMAU 88.9, Greenwoods, WMAO 90.9, in Jackson, you have WMPN 91.3, Meridian is WMAW 88.1, Oxford's WMAV 90.3, and Starkville WMAB 89.9. You can also jump on the State Championships Radio Network YouTube channel and take a look at our live booth cam here, and you'll be able to see inside the booth. You'll see Ben Ingram and Jake Wimberly. If Jake Wimberly's hair, it might take up the whole camera feed. I mean, I don't know. You might not be able to see much, or it might be a haze over Jake Wimberly's hair from all that product coming off of it here in the cold open air booth. You know, I can't promise you like what you see, but you'll like what you hear, because we have the best in the business here on our broadcast, like Ben Ingram, the voice of the Atlanta Braves. Of course, we're talking about Jake Wimberly. We had Brian Eubank from the Raider Network on with us. The game before this, Jared Schatz, who's the voice of Germantown. We've also had Caleb Hamill, the voice of William Carey, doing some baseball and soccer for William Carey. So we've got a great crew of Mississippi-based broadcasters that do this, and we're appreciative of everyone tuning in and hanging out. But that's a wrap on my version, or my part of the Army National Guard halftime show. I'm going to step aside for 3 minutes, and when I come back, we'll toss it back to Ben Ingram and Jake Wimberly and wherever Brandon Davis is, somewhere down there trying to stay warm, I imagine. But we're step aside for 3 minutes. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.
Delicious, savory barbecue doesn't happen by accident, and great wings don't happen by accident either. Whether you're heating up the smoker or firing up the grill, the award-winning crafted in Mississippi finishing sauces and marinades of the Oxford Falls makes every meal a masterpiece and every bite unforgettable. The Oxford Falls helps make every mouth-watering meal one to remember. Shop now at theoxfordfalls.com and get free shipping on orders over $100.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6!
Pick 6!
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
There was a time when a person's word was enough. A time when a handshake meant something, and integrity really mattered. For over 70 years, the values of Farm Bureau Insurance have been rooted in hard work, faith, and family. In that time, we've seen the world change in many ways. What hasn't wavered is Farm Bureau Insurance's commitment to protect our customers' way of life and serve the communities in which they live when they need us most. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
She had a good coach that pointed her in the right direction, and we were able to get to her quick enough, and she's young and healthy enough that she's going to have a great outcome.
I would say the biggest difference is just how Dr. Moss explained everything. I went into my second surgery knowing exactly what after surgery was going to look like, what during surgery was going to look like, and it just made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident with my outcome.
We appreciate Breck Riley and the job that he did there at halftime, bridging the gap in between the first half and second half. And great to have you with us for the second half of action and the final 2 quarters here in the 7A State Championship. Alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline, Ben Ingram here with you. Gulfport on top of Tupelo 14-7. By the way, the sound system here at Davis Wade Stadium works extremely well. Gulfport going to kick this thing off, and it'll be Tupelo's possession to get things started here in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you by Mississippi Blood Services. Did you know that you can save up to 3 lives with 1 blood donation? For more information or to find out about a blood drive near you, their website is msblood.com. Ball is in the air off the foot of Carter Platt, and we're underway. That'll be caught at the 25-yard line by Tupelo. Dancing along the numbers up to the 30 and 35 is the Tupelo returner. And the Golden Wave has it 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. So, Jake, what do you think some of the adjustments are for Tupelo here in the second half?
I think you just got to continue to run the football, and I think you got to find those lanes in the passing game. Brandon, did you get a chance to get some information for us down there? We'll come back to Brandon. He's working on that microphone. I think you got to get J.J. Hill going. J.J. Hill, 10 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Kylan Bobo, only 3 carries for 6 yards.
That's a big departure from what they're used to in the offensive numbers and the rushing category. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. From the shotgun, Braylon Williams to his left, J.J. Hill. And they fake the handoff with Hill, and diving up the middle, Braylon Williams lost his footing there. Got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they start this series with Kylan Bobo at running back. There have been some times where both of those backs play, in the backfield together. We'll see if they go. Well, they actually do have them. But J.J. Hill actually, I believe they got J.J. Hill at quarterback
They
now.
do. They have Hill lined up at quarterback in a pistol formation and Kylan Bobo behind him. So Williams out of there, Hill in as the quarterback. And Hill waiting on the snap. Man in motion left to right. That's Raines. Hill takes the snap. Handoff. Bobo around the left side has a big hole. Hits the edge. Across the 45, 50, and knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line on the other side of the field. Big run by Kylan Bobo. 22 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Brandon down there now.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. Yeah, technology's a wonderful thing. Had a chance to talk with Blake Pennick at the half. He loved the physicality of what he was seeing from his team here. But what he said is he knew that Tupelo was a second half team. They had to keep that intensity up. Loved the play of his offensive line, as you would imagine.
An Environment Masters first down at the 40-yard line on Gulfport side of the field. Still Hill at quarterback. Hill hands the ball off on a speed sweep around the near side by Kylan Bobo. Shoved out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Gain of 4 yards, 2nd and 6 coming up after the tackle by Pierre Felder.
Yeah, this is a set that Tupelo is very comfortable with. They had to go with this set. J.J. Hill at quarterback, Kylan Bobo at running back at the beginning of the year because they lost Williams to an off-the-field incident. He was gone for about 9 weeks. So this was their offense for a majority of the regular season.
And the plan right now is to have J.J. Hill at quarterback. He's out there again, so you'd imagine this possession at least will be his. And if they have success, we could see this the rest of the game. It's 2nd down and 7, just underway in the 3rd quarter. Tupelo trailing Gulfport 14-7 in the 7A state championship game. Man in motion. Hill takes the snap up the gut in between the tackles inside the 35, 34, brought down to the 33-yard line by Nick Strickland. That'll be a gain of 4, and it sets up 3rd down and 3 now for the Golden Wave.
You know, an old coach said one time, for everything you gain, you lose something. For everything you lose, you gain something. Well, with Hill back at quarterback, you lose your traditional starting quarterback, but you gain an extra blocker. And when you gain an extra blocker, somebody that you could put in an H-back position, that just helps out Hill and Bobo in the run game.
It's 3rd down and 3, and it's Hill and Bobo back there. Bobo line up to the left side of Hill as he's the quarterback. Takes the snap, wants to keep it himself, hit in the backfield, hit once, twice, dropped down and a loss on the play. Lawrence Robertson got back there and knocked Hill to the ground. It's a loss of 3 on the play, and it's 4th down.
Great job by Gulfport, really getting pressure. That was backside pressure that come from the backside for Gulfport to get Hill to the ground. Now 4th down and 5. This ball is spotted at the 35. They got to get it down to the 30.
Yeah, they're keeping the offense on the field. It's still Hill out there. Hill by himself in the shotgun. 2 wide to either side of him. Ball in between the hash marks of the 35. Claps his hands, waiting on the snap. Now he's going to change the play. Looks over his left shoulder at the sideline. 13 seconds left on the play clock. 14-7 our score. Gulfport on top of Tupelo. Tupelo with the ball at the Gulfport 35-yard line. Man in motion left to right. Hill hands off, sweep near side. Bobo turns upfield, angles to the 30. He needed the 30 for the first down. This is close. Cordarius Payton there for the tackle. Tupelo believes they have the first down.
Brandon, how close did he get it?
He got it. He was very close, but he got it.
He needed 5. He got 5 and a foot. And that'll move the change for an Environment Masters first down.
237 on the yardage for Gulfport, now 161 for Tupelo.
So a big 4th down conversion. Still Hill back there at quarterback. Hill with Bobo to his right. On 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Ball is on the right hash. 14-7 Gulfport leading here in the 3rd quarter, brought to you by Mississippi Blood Services. Into the pistol formation. Hill hands off, Bobo right then left, dashes up the middle inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, and he advances the ball 3 yards down the field. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 after the tackle by Marwin Daner.
Very patient run by Bobo. He starts out right, cuts back left, finds an alley, and a nice yardage there on first down.
2nd and 7. And that's the benefit of having 2 quality running backs. You want to put one as your quarterback, let him do his thing, and you can use Kylan Bobo more so than you were in the first half. They can utilize the legs of both of these running backs. Hill takes the snap, keeps it himself around the left side, has a hole, breaks a tackle, breaks 2, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Mr. Football in 7A, J.J. Hill takes it to the end zone, but there's a flag back at the 29-yard line. As it stands, it's a 27-yard carry for a touchdown. But the flag is on the ground back of the 29. Let's hear from Ramon Thompson.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Jake, that wipes a 27-yard touchdown run off the board. And right when it looked like Tupelo had doubted what they wanted with Hill, it's Antonio Berry who is flagged for the holding.
Yeah, you hate to see that, but Berry had his hands right on top of the shoulder pads of the defensive lineman and had him extended. He's taller, and boy, it was visible. It was definitely a hold.
Well, that brings them back to the 34-yard line. Correction. That'll be at the 37-yard line, the new line of scrimmage. So second down and 17. Line of scrimmage at the 37 on the right hash. So Hill, the quarterback, with 2 wide to his left, 2 wide to his right, ready to take the snap. Here's the snap. Bobo in motion. Hill keeps it himself, breaks a tackle in the backfield, hits the pile at the 35, and the pile moves all the way down to the 32-yard line. So that's a gain of 6 yards. Cordell Crandall with the tackle. And it's third down now and 11 for Tupelo.
Third down conversions tonight. Tupelo just 1 of 6. Third down has not been kind to either team. Gulfport 2 of 7, but 1 of 6. This will be a third down and 11 try. Stat Tracker updates brought to you by Cherokee Brick, supplying bricks across America since 1877.
Tupelo went for it on a 4th down and 6 a moment ago and was able to convert. And now third down and 11. 7:20 left in the third quarter of the 7A state championship game. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 7. Shotgun formation for J.J. Hill, now into the pistol with Kylan Bobo behind him. Hill claps his hands, takes the snap, keeps it around the right side, has a hole, out to the numbers at the 30-yard line, tripped up at the 25. That's a gain of 6, maybe 7 yards, and it sets up a 4th down and a long 3.
You know, it's very cool out here tonight. You can even say cold for a lot of people. But you still have to wonder, in this set, Brandon, does this offensive front and J.J. Hill running downhill, is it going to take a toll on Gulfport? I see a couple hands on some hips down there.
Hey, absolutely, Jake. I'm seeing a Tupelo offense that looks a lot more comfortable coming out in the second half. Going back with this wild wave or whatever offense they called is a spark for Tupelo right now.
Well, they converted on 4th and 5 a moment ago. They're going for it on 4th and 4 here from the 24-yard line. Ball on the right hash. Hill takes the snap. Hill keeps it himself right up the middle. Has a first down. Bowls over a defender inside the 20 to the 15 and dropped to the 14-yard line. A gain of 10 yards by J.J. Hill, brought down by Williams and Crandall. But that's the carry they were looking for out of J.J. Hill.
34th play for Tupelo tonight, 31 for Gulfport. So with what they're doing now, and they're averaging 5.7 yards per play. Gulfport 7.6, but right now they are just old-fashioned, just running it downhill at Gulfport.
And inside the William Carey University red zone. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. J.J. Hill from the pistol. 3 receivers set, 2 left, 1 right, 4-man defensive front for the Admirals. Hill hands off Bobo up the middle to the 10. It's a gain of 3 yards. Peters and Strickland there to bring down the ball carrier. And it's 2nd down and 6 now from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and look, this is doing several things. 1, it's wearing on this Gulfport defense. 2, we're at 5:34 in the third quarter. It's killing clock. And 3, it's keeping that Gulfport offense on the sideline.
Gulfport leading 14-7. That was our halftime score. This is the first drive of the second half. And Tupelo has really milked that clock here in the third quarter, keeping it on the ground. J.J. Hill from the shotgun. Hill takes the snap. Hill takes it himself up the middle over his left tackle. Not much there. 3-4 blue jerseys there to push him back, led by Andre Peters. A gain of 1 on the play, and that brings up 3rd down and 5.
Again, 1 of 7 on 3rd down, but as you said earlier, they're 2 for 2 on 4th downs. And you got to think they may be in 4-down territory again.
I think so. 4th down has been the money play for the Golden Wave. Under 5 minutes left in the third quarter, brought to you by Mississippi Blood Services. J.J. Hill providing the spark for Tupelo as they've had him out there at quarterback this possession. From the pistol formation, man in motion right to left. Hill takes the snap, handoff, Bobo up the middle, and it is just wide open for him. A touchdown right up the gut, an 8-yard run by Kylan Bobo. Reed Lindsay with a big block right in front of him, and it was like a red carpet rolled right out in front of Kylan Bobo.
APAC scoring summary, 13 plays, 63 yards, 7 minutes, 26 seconds. Capped off by Kylan Bobo, 8-yard touchdown run.
A Trustmark Bank touchdown to make it 14-13. And now Hobson Dodra out to tie the game with this potential extra point, brought to you by Atmos Energy. Right-footed kicker awaiting the snap. Snap back, hold down, kick is away, and it is good. So the extra point is good, and that ties the game. 4:27 left in the third quarter. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 14, back in 90 seconds. You're listening to the 7A State Championship game on the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.
Never settle when building or remodeling your home. You may think you can't afford brick, but you can. For less than $1 a day, you can own a full brick home. The money you save on painting, heating, and cooling costs, along with lower insurance, will put money back in your pocket. Go to CherokeeBrick.com to see how affordable brick really is. Spend less, save more on the look you want. Cherokee Brick. Life's just better with brick.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At Atmos Energy, we believe affordable, reliable, and efficient natural gas is essential to achieving a low-carbon energy future. We're committed to helping protect the environment by providing smart choice solutions to help customers reduce energy use and lower their carbon footprint. Get a rebate up to $600 off qualifying high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
.427 left in the third quarter of the 7A State Championship game. We are locked up 14 apiece between Gulfport and Tupelo. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau. Alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline, Ben Ingram here with you. Folks, with C Spire, you've got all the technology you need for connected living. Fiber, fast home internet, ultra-secure Wi-Fi, and nationwide 5G wireless you can count on. cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired. 14-14 in the 7A State Championship game between Tupelo and Gulfport.
Our APAC scoring summary.
Tupelo will be...
Oops, sorry about that. Just an 8-yard touchdown run. Sorry about that, Ben, by Kylan Bobo. 13 plays, 63 yards, 7:26 on the time, courtesy of APAC.
Tupelo will be kicking away at the 40-yard line. Kick is going to be caught at the 11-yard line. Gulfport bringing it the other way across the 20-yard line and all the way out to the numbers, angling towards the sideline, Devontre Brewer, and a good return there for Gulfport up to the 33-yard line. 20-yard return, and a good return there by Devontre Brewer. So Gulfport starts right there, and boy, Tupelo had the ball for the longest time on that drive, and it's been a while since we've seen the Admirals touch the football.
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes it's kind of like, a pitcher maybe that has a long stay. They get a little cold. We'll see if it affects this offense and the production and how they perform now.
They have an Environment Masters first down. Game tied at 14. Been a while since Parker Nettles has been out there. He and Cooper Crosby put on a show there in that first half. And now this is their first possession of the second half. Out of the shotgun, man in motion as they send the receiver out towards the sideline looking to pass. This will be caught up at the 40-yard line by Hales, and he's immediately brought down. His helmet came off. That'll be a gain of 5 yards, and second down and 5 coming up. Trey McCoy on the tackle there for Tupelo.
Ball's a little high, and what we're seeing out of Nettles, who's 6 of 14 now, or 7 of 14, maybe 6 of 13, for 86 yards, is some of his passes have been off schedule this football game.
So 2nd and 5 from the pistol formation, Parker Nettles. Game tied at 14, 3:44 left in the third quarter. Man in motion is Stubbs left to right. Waiting on the snap is Nettles, and now he'll call it audible, looking to the sideline. They rearrange the offensive set. Setting up to the right of Nettles is Crosby, the running back. Snap to Nettles. Nettles hands off Crosby. Going along the left side, pushed out to the numbers, and 4 Golden Wave push him out of bounds up at the 41. Tyson Hunter led the charge for the Golden Wave. That brings up 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, 4 white shirts around Cooper Crosby that time, and that's what you got to do. And I'm sure they talked about that at the half. Say, look, we got to get numbers on Crosby and get him to the ground.
So they'll say 3rd and 4. They said that he reached the 40, and that's where he went out of bounds. A big 3rd down here for Nettles. Out of the pistol. Behind him, Cooper Crosby. That senior running back has had a huge gain. Crosby now lines up to the left side of Nettles. Man in motion right to left. Nettles waiting on the snap. Here it is. Nettles rolling out to his right. Fires right side. Has Crosby in the open field. Across midfield to the sideline. 40, 30, 25, 20, and wrestled down to the 15-yard line. Another bolt of lightning by Crosby, this time for 43 yards and an Admirals first down.
Boy, you play fake to it and to him, and then, of course, the motion, the reverse motion, you get him out to it. And Brandon Davis, that young man can go.
I mean, you know, there were a lot of people that were surprised he made the Miss-Al roster. And, you know, because he was kind of unknown down there on the coast, but he has come out and shown that he has belonged. And you said it, Jake, the top-end speed this young man has is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, he has introduced himself to those who did not know him tonight, that's for sure. Inside the William Carey University red zone with an Environment Masters first down. Crosby, the carry, goes left and slips down to the 15. A gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9 up and coming now with the Admirals. 2:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Game tied at 14.
And how about this for a Cherokee Brick stat tracker update? Cooper Crosby right now with 203 yards of total offense. Tupelo has 201 as a team.
Wow. What a show. He's out of the pistol here. Man in motion left to right. Waiting on the snap, Nettles. Play action, rolling right, looking to the end zone, looking to pass, steps up in trouble. They get to him once, twice, and drop him all the way back to the 28-yard line. Make it McCoy and Patton who met at the quarterback and brought the pain to the quarterback, Nettles.
Yeah, Nettles has played clean pretty much, a lot of the year and for sure throughout the playoffs, and he hasn't taken a hit like that. But Tupelo able to get back to him and get a couple white shirts on him, and boy, what a big loss there for Gulfport.
That was a loss of 10. Jaraylen McCoy and Jacalyn Patton on that tackle there for Tupelo. 3rd down and 20. Line of scrimmage is the 25-yard line. They need to reach the 5 for the first down. Game's tied at 14. Minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter. From the gun, it's Nettles. Nettles with a snap. Surveys the field. Steps up. In trouble. Fires. Pass caught at the 10. Down to the 5. Just shy of a first down. Javius Hales right over the middle of the field. Jake, that pattern was there for them earlier. It's there for them now here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
It was. Hales just really working, skinny post and then back across the hash marks. And look, what about Nettles, who really stayed alive in the pocket? You talk about footwork. Bought himself another second to make that throw. Now 4th down and short.
4th and 1. They've got the offense on the field. And with the show that Cooper Crosby has put on tonight, I'd be stunned if someone other than number 5 got the ball right here. That was a gain of 19 yards on that play. And it's a 4th and 1 with 1:15 left in the 3rd quarter. There's a flag down in the end zone. Let's hear from Ramon Thompson.
After the play, we had fouls on both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2 of the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14 of the offense. The distance penalties offset. It's those players' first unsportsmanlike fouls of the game.
So that's Camden Morgan of Gulfport and J.Q. Harrell of Tupelo getting after it. You can understand why. It's the final minute and 15 seconds of the 3rd quarter in the state championship. And they're jawing at each other, so that drew the flag, and those penalties offset. And now they're going to trot the field goal unit on.
How about that? Yeah, both teams perfect on 4th down. Tupelo 2 for 2 on 4th down. Gulfport is 1 for 1.
Or are they? Let's see. No, they're going to go for this. They've got Cooper Crosby as the quarterback. So everybody knows what's coming here. Crosby out of the gun, takes the snap, keeps it himself, goes up the middle, and he has the first down. He needed 1 yard. He picked up 2. Devontre Brewer with the tackle, but once they got the ball in the hands of Crosby, he did what he's done the entire game, moved the chains.
Boy, how about that, Brandon Davis? They said, hey, J.J. Hill, we can do the same thing.
Yeah, they had two to three H-backs there at the line of scrimmage, and they just ran right behind them. Wasn't able to get any type of backside penetration from Tupelo there. Good play on fourth down. Risky call by Blake Pennant, but I like it.
It's an Environment Masters first down. They're deep inside the William Carey University red zone. First and goal at the 4-yard line. Same formation. Direct snap to Crosby. Up the middle looking for something into the pile. Falls ahead to the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 1. Make it Jamil Jeffries on the tackle there for Tupelo.
Nettles, the quarterback, checks back into the ball game. They rotate out some of those big guys. They're going to go back with their standard offense here. Tupelo, conversely, making some adjustments as well as both teams settle in here. Second down and goal at the 4-yard line.
And 22 seconds and counting left in the third quarter. How about a third quarter where both teams get one possession each?
Yeah, I don't think we were had that on the old, quote, bingo card.
Oh, we didn't, especially after what we saw in the first half. And they're going to let this continue to tick down, and they're going to have this down on the south end of the field. So that'll end the third quarter, and that ends the Mississippi Blood Services third quarter. Nothing decided in this one. Back in 90 seconds, we go into the fourth quarter, the 7A state championship game. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 14. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
When the job calls for contractor-grade industrial supplies, start where the pros go. Ace Bolt and Screw. We've got fasteners for every job. Bolts, screws, anchors, and more, built to handle the toughest work. No waiting, no guesswork. Just the right tools and fasteners right when you need it. And when you've got questions, our friendly, knowledgeable staff is always here to help. Ace Bolt and Screw. Your project, our industrial supplies, get it done right.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick 6.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6?
Pick 6.
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
1 quarter left in the 7A state championship game. This has been an outstanding weekend here in Starkville. 6 champions have been crowned. Calhoun City in 1A, East Webster in 2A, Raleigh in 3A, Columbia in 4A, Brookhaven the 5A champion, Warren Central the 6A champion, and there's 1 quarter left to determine the 7A champion here in the state of Mississippi for the 2025 season. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 14. And it's great to have you with us alongside Jake Wimberly and Brandon Davis on the sideline. Ben Ingram here with you. Admirals had the ball at the 4-yard line. Second and goal from the 4. Parker Nettles out of the gun. Nettles waiting on the snap on second down. Takes it. Handoff Crosby around the left side. Has a yard. That's about all. And that'll bring up third down and goal from the 3 after the tackle by Donovan Bell. Well, we saw Tupelo go for it on fourth down twice on their last drive. And let's see what happens on this third down. I'm curious if they don't get it, if they think about going forward on fourth down inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, third down has not been kind to either team. Tupelo 2 of 8 on third down, 3 of 9 for Gulfport on third down.
Crosby lines up to the left of the quarterback Nettles in the shotgun. Nettles sends a man in motion. Nettles takes the snap and whistles blow. We have some movement.
Timeout. Gulfport.
Nope.
First
Gulfport
charge
wants to
timeout
talk
of the
about
half.
it. And we will take a 30-second timeout. 11:18 left in the fourth quarter, tied at 14. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
My family was involved in a terrible car wreck.
They needed blood immediately. Mississippi Blood Services provided the life-sustaining blood they needed.
You don't think about this happening to your family, but it happens every day.
The need for blood could hit your family next. So don't let fear of needles, a busy schedule, or random excuses keep you from saving your family.
Another
life could depend on you.
Tied at 14 with 11:18 left in the fourth quarter here in the 7A State Championship game. Fourth quarter brought to you by Farm Families of Mississippi. Mississippi needs farmers. More online at farmfamiliesms.org. Columbus, Mississippi, with its rich historical heritage, it's a perfect destination for anyone who appreciates classic Southern architecture, food, and hospitality. More online at visitcolumbusms.com. Big play coming up right here in this game. Gulfport and Tupelo tied at 14. Admirals looking at a 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. By himself in the backfield is Parker Nettles. Now he shifts out as a wide receiver. Crosby takes over as quarterback out of the gun. Snap to Crosby. Crosby fakes a reverse, takes around the left end. They saw it coming a mile away. They drop him back at the 11-yard line. Loss on the play, and it's Trey McCoy there to bring down Crosby. 4th down.
You need to credit the staff of Tupelo. They have done a lot of homework. They've seen that play before, that shift. Brandon Davis, that's a coaching ring on the belt right there.
Hey, that's beautifully well done. Crosby almost fumbled that snap. That delayed a little bit of what was going to happen there. But yeah, you said it right on, Wim. They've seen that in tape study.
This will be a 28-yard field goal attempt for Carter Platt after the loss of 7 on that play by Cooper Crosby. Snap is back, hold down, kick is away, and he missed it. He missed the 28-yard attempt as Carter Platt was wide on that field goal attempt, and we remain tied at 14, Jake.
Guys, let's remember that the crossbars, or not the crossbars, the uprights are a little bit narrower here in the college ranks. That is likely going to be good at the high school level.
Yeah, that's a big miss. Big miss. Tupelo dodges a bullet, and let's remember that at the 10:28 mark here in this ball game.
Wide left. It almost hit the upright.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shaved the left upright. So Gulfport misses an opportunity. They took it all the way inside the 5-yard line, but on that 3rd down play, they lost 7, and then Carter Platt was wide left on the field goal attempt. So now Tupelo takes over. 10:28 left in the fourth quarter, and an Environment Masters first down for the Golden Wave. Once again, J.J. Hill at quarterback for the Wave. From the gun, takes the snap, handoff, Bobo around the left end across the 20, up to the 24-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 yards.
You know, it's very interesting to see how offenses develop. And, you know, out of necessity, they had to go with Hill at the beginning of the season, and now here at the end of the season, they go back to him.
That was actually Baskin on that carry. Well, I think that's a good plan. Look, if nobody knows his team like Ty Harden knows his team.
Yep.
And he was looking for a spark, and that's something that worked for them early in the season. And give it a shot, see what it looks like. So that's what they've been going with in the second half is Hill, who's typically a running back, as the quarterback. Hill fakes a handoff, keeps it himself, met at the 25-yard line, ahead to the 27. And a gain of 3 yards as he's tackled by Andre Peters. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Wave with 9:37 left in the game. We're tied at 14. 3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line. I can't imagine they're going to go back to Braylon Williams the rest of the game the way that Tupelo moved the ball with Hill at quarterback in the 3rd quarter. That remains to be seen, but right now the notion is it's going to be Hill the rest of the way.
Yeah, Tupelo is used to this. Tight ball games, this is what they've done a lot this year.
From the gun, it's Hill. Man in motion right to left. Hill takes it himself around the right side, trying to get to the edge. He gets there, up to the 30, 35, fights ahead to the 40, and dragged down right there. It's a first down all the way up to the 45-yard line, and a gain of 14 yards by J.J. Hill.
Let's go down to Brandon Davis. Brandon, I had a chance to interview several kids that had played against Kylan Hill, and I just asked them, who's the toughest back you've had to tackle? Everybody says it's J.J. Hill. He's different than Crosby because I think he just wears on you, and we're seeing that a little bit here.
Yeah, he likes to lean and press on you, and, you know, Crosby, I wouldn't call him a finesse back, but you said it. I mean, this J.J. Hill, his legs, I've never seen legs like this on a high school athlete. And, you know, I think of Cam Akers when I look at this kid run the football.
Yeah, he's going to beat you down and just wear you down quarter by quarter. That was the Mississippi Air National Guard sideline report from the pistol formation, Braylon Williams, or rather J.J. Hill. Hill will hand off. Kylan Bobo around the left end of the 45-50 into Gulfport territory to the sideline, 40, 30, 25, and out of bounds to the 24-yard line. Massive gain on the play, 35 yards in the hands of Kylan Hill, and he's deep into Gulfport territory now.
Bobo just that scat back, man. He can flat out get it. We got a flag, though, back around the 42-yard line.
That might be coming back.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That wipes that big play right off the board. That play would have been huge for Tupelo as they're trying to repeat as 7A champions.
Yeah, I saw it there. It was the I didn't get the number, but the guy that was playing right on the tight end spot. He had the left hand right up on the shoulder pad of the defensive end.
That puts him in reverse all the way back to the 30-yard line. 1st and 20. They need to cross midfield to move the chains. 8:15 left in the fourth quarter. Gulfport 14, Tupelo 14. Gulfport has never won a state championship in football in school history. Tupelo has won 2, including last year. They're looking to repeat as 7A state champions. Hill from the shotgun. Hill keeps it himself up the middle to the 33-yard line, a gain of 3. Making Cordell Crandall on the tackle there for Gulfport. Clock continues to roll under 8 minutes. 2nd and 17 from the 33-yard line.
What's interesting, you know, Tupelo held the ball most of the third quarter, but time of possession in this ball game, 18 minutes, 59 seconds for Tupelo, 18 minutes, 33 seconds for Gulfport, almost identical.
Right down the middle. J.J. Hill in the shotgun by himself. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Takes a snap, runs around the right edge across the 35 to the 37. That's a gain of 4, and it's a 3rd and long after the tackle by Peters and Crandall. Well, if they were to bring Williams back out onto the field, you'd think they'd do so if they needed a long pass. But with Hill back there, it's for the most part been Hill just running left and right, and the occasional handoff to a Bobo or Raines.
Yeah, it makes me think that Tupelo feels really good about where they are schematically in this game, and that so what, we may have to punt it, but we feel like we're playing good enough defensively. Even if we got to take this thing to overtime, we like our chances.
4 receivers set, 3 left, 1 right, ball on the right hash of the 37-yard line. They need to reach midfield to move the chains. From the gun, J.J. Hill by himself in the backfield. Man in motion right to left. Hill hands the ball off at a sweep. Coming to the near side, Generic, Day Generic, and he's not able to pick up much at all. Hit hard at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 4, and it's 4th down and 9. Maji Frederick with a tackle.
Yeah, good job by Frederick. Really kind of, you know, staying out there. And boom, boy, he lays the wood right there. Just a big hit. Looks like that's going to make Tupelo kick this ball back to Gulfport with 6:13, maybe under 6 minutes by the time they punt this ball away.
6:07 left in our Farm Families of Mississippi fourth quarter. Well, watching the replay of that, you're right, Jake. Day Generic got popped on that play. Lucky he held onto the ball. Trace Wilson out to punt it away for Tupelo. He stands at the 26-yard line. Cordarius Payton is deep. He's at the 30-yard line to return the punt. Punt is away, and it's a spiraling punt that will bounce to the 30. Payton clears the area. That rolls down to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Admirals will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20 after a 39-yard punt from Trace Wilson. So we're tied at 14, 5:38 left. And Gulfport on that last drive, Jake, got all the way inside the 5. The drive stalled. They mixed the field goal. Their defense does them a favor of keeping them off the board. Now they got to regroup and find a way to move the ball again.
Yeah, they do. I mean, right now with 5 minutes and 38 seconds, you know, what do they turn to here? Nettles 8 of 15 for 155 yards. He has not thrown a touchdown or an interception. But Crosby, 22 carries, 56 yards on the night. You know, you're going to see a good dose of Crosby here. And I think, you know, we could see Gulfport going to the bag of tricks here.
There have been a couple of times where they tried to go with a trick play, just didn't pan out, had a penalty on one of those plays. On 1st and 10 from the 20, from the shotgun, Nettles hands off Crosby up the middle, over his left guard, up to the 23-yard line. It makes me wonder, how deep is that bag of tricks for Blake Pennick, because he's got a whole folder full of trick plays.
He really does. He really does, and you got to always
Timeout for an injured player.
Got to always be, aware of what they can do.
Well, there's an injured player, so this gives us an opportunity to tell you about T3 Global Projects. Since its inception in 2011, T3 Global Projects, LLC, has been providing quality sports servicing construction projects throughout the southern U.S., the Caribbean, and Central America. For more about T3 Global's entire portfolio and services, T3GlobalProjects.com. That's the letter T, the number 3, and then globalprojects.com. Check them out. It's 2nd down and 6 coming up for Gulfport as the injured player is helped to the sideline. 2nd down and 6, 5:25 left in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 14 in the 7A state championship game. From the shotgun, Parker Nettles. To his right, Cooper Crosby. Man in motion left to right. Nettles takes the snap. Nettles, play action fake, rolls out, fires to the near side. Pass caught in between the hash marks and the numbers. Across the 30, up to the 34-yard line. Well, that was a little bullet to Mylan Stubbs, and it was a low throw, Jake, but he's able to make the catch and then get upfield.
Yeah, it was a good job by Nettles. Kind of had to throw that ball off platform there, change his arm angle just a little bit, and gets the football to the receiver. They'll get a first down now and move the football up to the 34-yard line.
That's an Environment Masters first down at the 34. So to this point of this drive, they've made it 14 yards upfield as it started the 20-yard line. Out of the pistol, Nettles hands off. Crosby up the middle, breaks through up to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5, 6, 7 yards up to the 43-yard line. Picked up a few more yards after the initial contact. He's been doing that all day. Caden Buchanan with the tackle for the Golden Wave.
Obviously, time is what Gulfport hasn't had in the second half, but Crosby with 168 yards on 24 carries, but he had 145 at the half. So he's kind of been quiet here the second half.
2nd and 2. He'd like to get loud one more time. One more touchdown could put this thing in the win column for the Admirals. From the gun, Parker Nettles. Send a man in motion right to left. Nettles takes the snap. Nettles hands off to Crosby. Into the pile, up the middle. Gain of 1. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1 after the tackle by Devontre Brewer. 3rd down and a yard, 3:50 left in the game.
I'll say this, guys. If you have a play action pass in your arsenal, now may be the time to use it.
Yeah, I agree with Brandon here. 3rd down and short. Maybe you run a little play action here. Tupelo's got everybody at the line of scrimmage. And a safety only 7 yards off the ball.
Nettles in the pistol. Hands off. Crosby punished in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. Donovan Hawkins able to push his way through and drill Crosby. So they go from 3rd and 1 to 4th and 4 now.
Yeah, Hawkins, one of the larger men on this field. He just rips through that offensive front.
They keep the offense on the field. 3:02 left in the game, tied at 14. This is a huge play for Gulfport. Going for it, 4th and 4 at their own 41-yard line.
And they are 2 for 2 so far tonight on 4th down.
Man in motion right to left. Nettles from the gun. And now movement on the line. Gulfport jumped and Tupelo's fired up. And that'll certainly mean a punt coming up now. It was Christian Scruggs, the guard, the left guard who
Prior to
jumped.
the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
He's a senior guard, 6'1", 350. Once you get that body moving, you're not going to stop it.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's the 7th penalty tonight for Gulfport for 50 yards.
And now Gulfport will be punting the ball away with 2:44 left in the game. And the defending champion Golden Wave will have an opportunity to march it down for a potential game-winning score. Punt is going to be blocked by Tupelo and rolls free at the 35 to the 37. Caden Buchanan blocked it. It's still loose down there, but Tupelo blocks the punt. Carter Platt was trying to get it away, and Caden Buchanan was able to get his hand on it, and then Tyson Hunter pounced upon it. Tupelo will take over at the 36-yard line on Gulfport's side of the field with 2:27 left.
3 big plays on special teams in this game so far. Tupelo's first kickoff return set up a short field for a J.J. Hill touchdown. The missed field goal by Gulfport at the 10:28 mark, and now the blocked punt at the 2:27 mark that's going to set up Tupelo first down and 10 at the Gulfport 37.
That is a magnificent play by Tupelo, an Environment Masters first down. Caden Buchanan, senior linebacker who had 3 fumble recoveries this year, blocks a punt, and Tupelo in the driver's seat right now. First and 10. Hill rolls out to his right to the 35, around the edge to the 30, pushed out to the numbers, a gain of 8 yards inside the 30-yard line. Lots of things going through Ty Harden's head right now, the head coach for Tupelo. They'd love a touchdown, obviously, but you know that his kicker, Hobson Dodrell, warming up that leg as well. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the game, tied at 14.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we know his range, but right now, even as we sit, you're looking at about a 46-yard attempt.
Tupelo has all 3 of their timeouts left. It's 2nd and 1, a long one. J.J. Hill out of the gun. Man in motion right to left. Snap to Hill. Takes it around the right side. Has the edge. 25 spins upfield to the 23-yard line. That'll be a first down as he needed just a couple. He picked up 4, and it's an Environment Masters first down.
Yeah, it looked like that play also had a chance to pop a little bit longer than that.
Hey, Jake, in the warm-ups, he was hitting between 38 to 42 yards.
Thank you, Brandon. That's going to put him right about where they need to be if they had to kick it even right now.
Out of the pistol formation, J.J. Hill. Hill with Bobo behind him. Man in motion from the right side of the line to the left. Hill takes the snap. Hill hands off. Bobo up the middle. Big hole, 20, and hit there. A gain of 5 yards. A big hole there. Looked like he might break further than that, but DeAndre Williams quickly stepped up, filled the hole. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 inside the William Carey red zone as they have it at the 19-yard line.
Timeout. Tupelo.
Tupelo takes the timeout, and we'll step aside for 30 seconds. 1:15. Actually, you know what? Let's make this a 90-second timeout. Back in 90 seconds, 1:15 left in the game, tied at 14 in the 7A state title game. You're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
Mississippi farmers raise over 800,000 head of cattle each year. We take care of our livestock so you get what's good for your family on your table. We are only one of thousands, but we are united as one to grow the food, fiber, and shelter you need every day. Mississippi needs farmers. The farm families of Mississippi.
From the Blues Trail to hiking trails. From history and heritage tours to galleries and museums. From hidden treasures to culinary delights. It's all right here in Columbus, Mississippi. Plan your trip today. Catch you in Columbus.
What started in 1847 with asphalt paving experiments, over 175 years later has grown into an industry-leading transportation construction company and materials provider. Our operations span across multiple states, which include asphalt plants, construction crews, sand and gravel operations, stone yards, a limestone quarry, as well as river unload facilities.
Folks, this one has got us on the edge of our seats. 1:15 left in the fourth quarter, the 7A state title game. Gulfport looking for their first state championship in program history. They've been to the state championship game once. That was in 1982. And here they are fighting for a title. Meanwhile, Tupelo, the defending 7A state champions, game tied at 14. Tupelo ball, 2nd and 5 from the Gulfport 19-yard line. It's Hill in there at quarterback on 2nd and 5. Hill ready to take the snap. He does. Fakes the handoff. Around the right side. In pursuit, the Admirals. They hit him once, twice. He fights head to the 15. That's a gain of 3 after the tackle by Peyton and Williams. He's a yard shy of a first down, and it's 3rd and 1. 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. Clock continues to roll. Gulfport 2 timeouts. Tupelo also has 2 timeouts. And you know that Hobson Dodger is warming his leg on the sideline. It could come down to a kick. But Hill and the offense out there, the clock running. He takes a high snap, brings it down, hands off to Bobo, bounces outside to the 10, angles to the sideline, out of bounds at the 8-yard line. A late flag is thrown. Tyrell Seals and Cordarius Payton on the tackle. He picks up the first down, but Jake, that flag at the very end.
Yeah, threw Bobo way out of bounds. You just can't do that because now what's going to happen is this is going to set Tupelo up 1st and goal at about the 2. And instead of a field goal opportunity, they're probably going to be able to punch one in right here.
Let's hear from Ramon Thompson on that flag.
After the play, personal foul, defense, unnecessary roughness. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. First down.
That moves it from the 8-yard line to the 4-yard line with 39 seconds left in the game.
And Brent, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say an Environment Masters first down, 1st and goal at the 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brandon Davis, if you're Gulfport, you may well just let them score right here.
Yeah, you would let them score. That way you could try to get the ball back right away.
Hill waiting on the snap out of the gun. Takes the snap. Hill straight ahead. Bounces out to the left side. Stumbles and down to the 2-yard line. If he kept his cleats under him, he might have scored, but his feet came out from under him. Clock down to 29 seconds. It continues to roll, and now a timeout will be called by Gulfport. We'll keep it right here. I tell you what, Brandon, we were just talking about what they could do here, and if you're Gulfport, they could be talking about what you just mentioned in this timeout here.
31 seconds.
Absolutely. Let him score. You get the ball back. You at least have an opportunity. I mean, if I'm Ty Harden, I don't know if I don't just let this clock drain down to about 4 seconds and kick the extra point length field goal.
Thank you.
Well, some options here for Ty Harden. He knows how to win a championship. His Golden Wave won it last year. And he's trying to repeat as champions in 7A. Gulfport had a 14-7 lead at halftime. Tupelo tied the game with a third-quarter touchdown. Neither team has scored in the fourth quarter. And to be quite honest, the game we've seen in the second half, Jake, very different from what we saw in the first 2 quarters of this game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the first 2 quarters, it was the Cooper Crosby and J.J. Hill show. Both these defenses have really closed the door. I mean, both guys have really good stat lines tonight. And oddly, both guys are within 1 carry. J.J. Hill, 25 carries. Cooper Crosby, 26.
2nd and goal from the 4. Hill by himself in the backfield in the shotgun. Hill claps his hands, takes the snap, goes to his left, cuts upfield, rumbles ahead across the goal line. Touchdown, Tupelo! And they take the lead with 27 seconds left in the game. Mr. Football 7A got the ball in his hands, and he knew what to do with it as he punched it into the paint to give the Golden Wave the lead. He carried Andre Peters across the goal line. Peters jumped all over him, and Hill just kept the legs churning forward for a Trustmark Bank touchdown. It's 20-14 Tupelo with 27 seconds left. And now for the Atmos Energy extra point, here's Hobson Dodrell. Tupelo has outscored Gulfport 13-0 in the second half. Extra point away, and this one is no good. He missed it wide left, so it's 20-14 with 27 seconds left. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
We don't treat cancer or design breathtaking buildings or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day. So much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C-Spire. Inspired by you.
27 seconds left in the game. Tupelo 20, Gulfport 14. Last year, J.J. Hill was named 7A Mr. Football across Mississippi. This year, he won that title again. That could have been his final carry of his high school career, and if that's the case, Jake, how fitting it would be if it's the one that seals another state championship.
You can't write it up. You really can't. And how about this, too, now with 27 seconds. By the way, we got an APAC scoring summary. APAC, Mississippi, 7 plays, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, a score by J.J. Hill, 3-yard touchdown run. How big is that missed field goal at the 10:28 mark now? Because it could have been a 3-point ball game.
Missed field goal and a blocked punt.
Yep.
And that was what's turned this around here for Tupelo here in the fourth quarter. Hobson Dodrell will kick it away. And back deep, Cordarius Payton as well as Cooper Crosby. 27 seconds left. Gulfport has 2 timeouts. Hobson Dodrell kicks it high right down the middle of the field, taken by Payton at the 15, up to the 20, up the middle of the field to the 25, hit by 3 Wave players and brought down to the 28-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 28. They have 2 timeouts and only 20 seconds to work with after that 16-yard return. So now the Admirals, who are in this game for the first time since 1982. They lost the state championship in 82 to West Point, and this is their first appearance in the state championship game since then. And no coast team has won a state championship at the highest level here in Mississippi since Moss Point in 2000 when they defeated Clinton. Gulfport looking for a miracle. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. From the gun, Parker Nettles. Nettles drops back to pass. Nettles looking down the middle of the field. Fires incomplete. His receiver fell down, and they get a flag. Javon Pollard was the intended receiver, and he had a Tupelo Golden Wave player, J.Q. Harrell, all over him, caused him to fall to the ground.
Yeah, they're going to get 15 yards on the penalty. That's going to move that football right around the 47-yard line.
14 seconds left.
Holding on the defense. The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a first down.
You know, I think if you're Gulfport, you just want to get in a position where you can have an opportunity with a throw.
An Environment Masters first down. Hassle-free plumbing and AC. EnvironmentMasters.com. Well, 2 timeouts, so they could sling it and then immediately call a timeout. From the gun, Nettles to pass. Nettles has time, fires left, pass is caught up to the 50-yard line and out of bounds. On the reception, Mylan Stubbs, 9 seconds left. And they have it at the 50-yard line. That's a gain of 12.
You might could get 2 plays here. You got to watch Cooper Crosby. He leads the team in receptions and yards, and also you got to watch Hales, number 4.
First down to the 50-yard line. Nettles takes the snap. Nettles has to get rid of it quickly. Fires to the right side. Caught up at the 35-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 33. 2 seconds left. Hales made that catch. It'll be a gain of 15 yards and a first down. And it's going to come down to 1 play from the Tupelo 33. And we're going to see what Parker Nettles has. He's got to uncork one to the end zone here. 1 play left. 2 seconds left. Tupelo has 2 men back deep right there at the goal line. Now 3 men back deep at the goal line. And timeout will be called by Tupelo. We're going to keep this right here.
Cooper Crosby has stayed in for the 3 plays on this drive as a blocking back. I'll be interested to see if
Tupelo.
If they use him as a wide receiver. Let's go down to Brandon Davis. Brandon, you're Blake Pennick. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like what you said. I'm going to have Cooper Crosby in the backfield looking like he's blocking. I'm going to release him on a wheel route and see if I can't hit him down the sideline.
And then let him do his thing because he's so tough to bring down. But you've got 1 play left. 2 seconds on the clock. They need 33 yards. They're trailing by 6 points.
Timeout.
Tupelo 20, Gulfport 14. And they have an opportunity to talk about it. We talked about the trick plays that Blake Pennick likes to run. He's got to bring out the play of plays right here.
He does. He does. And, you know, I don't know how cute you can really get because they're going to rush 2 or 3. They're going to have everybody back. But I agree with Brandon. I think you might have to try to get Crosby. Now, he is trotting out as a wide receiver this time on the far side of the field. He's going to be stacked. Nope, check that. They're going to move the whole offense to that side, so he is in the backfield.
So Nettles in the gun. 1 play left to determine the 7A state champion here in Mississippi. Nettles waiting on the snap. Takes the snap, drops back, has time. Unwinds, fires for the end zone. Up for grabs. It is going to be caught! He caught it! It's a touchdown! Milan Stubbs! And we're tied! A miracle in Starkville. A 33-yard pass on the last play of the game. And an extra point will win it for the Admirals. Unbelievable! The sideline is electric. They're bouncing up and down. Parker Nettles put lots of air under it. It was deflected and caught in the middle of the end zone by Milan Stubbs, the catch of his life.
Timeout. Gulfport.
And now the Admirals called timeout. They can win it with an extra point.
The miracle from Gulfport. Holy my. Brandon Davis, what in the world did we just see?
I don't know. I was looking right at it. They threw the ball up, and it was tipped about the goal line, and instead of knocking it down, it was knocked up, and a Gulfport wide receiver was sitting there. I don't think he could believe it was about to fall into his arms. What a play we just witnessed here at Scott Field.
A 33-yard heave by Parker Nettles on what could be the final pass of his high school career. Now the game is on the foot of Carter Platt. He missed a 28-yard field goal earlier. He can wash all that away with an extra point to win it right here. Carter Platt, right-footed kicker. Just needs an extra point to give Gulfport the state championship in 2025. Waiting on the snap. He's focused on his holder. Snap back, hold down, kick away, kick is good! Gulfport wins the state championship on a miracle final drive in Starkville. It's their first ever state championship, and they have spilled out onto the field. What enthusiasm. They're running all over the place. Meanwhile, Tupelo players are laid out, face down, experiencing more grief than they thought was ever possible. And the Admirals are celebrating on the field in an absolute classic for the 7A state crown. Final score, Gulfport 21, Tupelo 20, the wave dethroned, and the Admirals are champions for the first time.
Got Blake Pennick with me. Coach, what just happened?
Oh, my God. No, what a play. It was something we practice every single week. That's what we just told him right there. We do this all the time for a reason, and I have no words. That's a heck of a way to finish the 7A state title, isn't it?
You are bringing a state championship to Gulfport. What does that mean to you and your community?
Man, God is good right here. I don't really have any words right now coming off of that, but this city believed in us, believed in me when it came through here, and man, it makes it all worth it.
Hey, I'm gonna let you celebrate. You are a state champion. How does that feel?
Feels good to be number one, baby.
Hey, go get after it. Thank you.
Oh, man. Blake Pennick, third-year head coach at Gulfport. His team just won the state championship. They're the first Mississippi Gulf Coast team to win the state title at the highest classification since Moss Point in 2000. And Jake, it took a miracle to pull it off.
How about Parker Nettles? The 3 pass plays prior to that to set up to give them that shot. And then just, on a Hail Mary play like that, you got to have some luck. You got to be good and you got to be lucky. Gulfport was good tonight, and they were lucky.
I mean, this is just so much fun to take in. I mean, seeing that kind of emotion. Tupelo had shut out Gulfport in the second half, and Tupelo was able to score with 20 seconds left and get into the end zone to take a 6-point lead. They missed the extra point.
And Ben, they went 72 yards in 3 plays in 20 seconds.
I mean, it had to be, if you did it again 10 times, Jake, I don't think they score.
I don't think they do either.
I mean, it was perfect. It had to be perfect. Not just the final play, but the plays leading up to it. And they picked up just enough yardage with each play. They had a couple of timeouts, used it, and then they got the tip, and Milan Stubbs with the catch of his life to win a state championship game. And then Carter Platt's extra point gave them the 1 point they needed to win this thing. just mesmerizing here in Starkville, and what a great way to finish up what has been an amazing weekend here for State Title Weekend 2025. Well, the players for Gulfport in their orange helmets and blue uniforms bouncing up and down at midfield, waving their orange flag with the G logo on it. It's a night they'll never forget for the rest of their lives, and certainly a moment that we're happy to be a part of, and glad that you could be with us on the State Championships Radio Network. Back in 3 minutes after this thriller, you're listening to the State Championships Radio Network presented by Farm Bureau.
We put faith in our vehicles to connect us. We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
We chose to use Environment Masters for our maintenance needs. So I get the phone calls, it's time for your, checkup. We want to schedule you. I appreciate that. That's really helpful.
Our Priority 1 maintenance program gives us the chance to do in-depth maintenance twice a year. We fix small problems before they become big problems. We change filters, clean and calibrate your system so it operates safely and at peak efficiency, all included in your membership. That's hassle-free plumbing and AC.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. When we get it, there's no hesitation.
She had a good coach that pointed her in the right direction, and we were able to get to her quick enough, and she's young and healthy enough that she's going to have a great outcome.
I would say the biggest difference is just how Dr. Moss explained everything. I went into my second surgery knowing exactly what after surgery was going to look like, what during surgery was going to look like, and it just made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident with my outcome.
Back at Davis Wade Stadium here on the campus of Mississippi State in Starkville, Mississippi. This is our Wendy's postgame show. Wendy's is now Tendies, serving new chicken tenders in addition to their traditional fare of old-fashioned burgers, fries, salads, and more. Complete menu and online ordering available in the Wendy's app. Well, this was the final game of state championship weekend, and it's one that they'll be talking about in Mississippi for many, many years. They'll be talking about it in Gulfport for decades. The miracle that took place in Starkville for Gulfport to beat Tupelo and dethrone the champions by a final score of 21-20. If we were looking for an exclamation point to this weekend, Jake, we certainly got it.
We did. I don't think we've seen anything like that. I mean, we've seen some magical moments, but, I mean, to go 70 yards in 3 plays in 20 seconds, I mean, when J.J. Hill crossed the goal line, you thought, okay, that's it. Now, they did miss the extra point, and that ended up being, I mean, special teams was the dagger. It ran both ways. That blade was, kind of sliced both ways tonight for both teams. But ultimately, it paid off for Gulfport. But the Hail Mary play, we've not seen anything like that maybe ever in a state championship game that I can remember, at least for the last 20 years. I know we haven't.
Just amazing. Well, I'm going to leave this honor up to you, our player of the game. Genuine Mississippi, grown, raised, crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi, online at genuinems.com. Which way are you going with that one?
I'm going to defer to Jared Schatz. Jared, who you got for the player of the game?
I
think we still got to go Cooper Crosby. Without Cooper Crosby, they're not in this game. And, you could give a dual player, but we'll go Cooper Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby had the game altogether for Gulfport, and then is the player of the game. But Nettles with that great play, his pass, Mylan Stubbs with the catch.
Yeah.
Lots of candidates there.
Hey, Ben,
yes, sir.
I have the player of the game, Cooper Crosby. Hey, Cooper, let's just talk about that performance.
Oh, man, it was amazing. We came out, we kind of struggled there at the beginning of the second half, but we found a way to pull it out.
How exciting is it to bring the first state title to Gulfport?
It's awesome, and it's even better because I get to play at Davis Wade Stadium, and that's where I'll be attending college and playing for college football.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be playing on Scott Field. What is the message you may have for Mississippi State fans?
Hey, when I get here, I'm going to work as hard as I can to help Mississippi State get back to the top.
Hey, congratulations, son. You are a state champion.
Thank you, and Hail State.
That is Cooper Crosby, the senior running back, who had a massive game helping to lead the Admirals to their first ever state championship. And, folks, if you're just now tuning in, you've missed – well, you missed the moment of moments. It was a 33-yard pass with 2 seconds left in the game that was tipped and then secured by Mylan Stubbs for the touchdown to tie the game. And then the extra point by Carter Platt won it 21-20 as Gulfport secures their first ever 7A state championship. So just an amazing weekend. I congratulate all the champions: Calhoun City, East Webster, Raleigh, Columbia, Brookhaven, Warren Central, and now Gulfport. And Jake, final words, and as we close things out, this is so much fun for us to be a part of every single year. And, man, we were treated to some great games, and what a finisher.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Bill Wilson and the job that he always does, keeping these games and keeping us going. Thanks to Jared Schatz and all that he does here as well. Thanks to all of our crew, Caleb, you, Breck, everybody, Brandon Davis, Josh West is a part of this, Brian Eubank, just so many great faces. Thanks to you, Ben, for always coming home and doing this. And look, these are great moments, and it's just a pleasure to be here this weekend and see moments like we just saw. Congratulations to Blake Pennick too, by the way.
Yeah.
I consider Blake a friend, and for him to get a championship here, this is a great moment for them.
Yes, it is. Well, that'll wrap things up for us. We're going to step aside for 3 minutes, and Breck Riley will have you when we come back. He'll wrap all this up. So for all the guys here with us in our booth, that includes Caleb Hamill, Bill Wilson, Jared Schatz, Brandon Davis down on the sideline. For Jake Wimberly, also for Breck Riley, who'll be coming up in a moment, I'm Ben Ingram saying so long and good night from Davis Wade Stadium here at Mississippi State, where the 7A state championship goes to Gulfport. 21-20 over Tupelo in an absolute thriller. Thank you so much for tuning in. Breck, on the backside of this break, you're listening to the 7A State Championships on the State Championships Radio Network.
Pick six for 1999 is the perfect meal for two.
I can't believe we're on a date.
Oh, I'm just here for pick six.
Imagine what our kids would look like.
I don't want to have kids with you.
6 kids.
6?
Pick 6.
Wait, could we eat here every meal?
Yes.
All right, I'm down. Pick 6 meal for two for 1999.
Delicious, savory barbecue doesn't happen by accident. And great wings don't happen by accident either. Whether you're heating up the smoker or firing up the grill, the award-winning crafted in Mississippi finishing sauces and marinades of the Oxford Falls makes every meal a masterpiece and every bite unforgettable. The Oxford Falls helps make every mouth-watering meal one to remember. Shop now at theoxfordfalls.com and get free shipping on orders over $100.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.
Into it, it was the Hail Mary, 21-20. Gulfport gets the win over Tupelo and a missed extra point. Boy, how did it come back to bite them? Against Oxford, Tupelo took advantage of a missed extra point in the game against Oxford. Oxford missed an extra point, and it came back to bite them, and it happens a week later against Tupelo. So it is the Wendy's Tailgate Show here, and just a quick look at sort of that final sequence of events that we need to get to. It was Parker Nettles connecting on a 33-yard pass to Stubbs. It was 3 plays, 72 yards in 20 seconds for Gulfport to win it 21-20. And we do have the call of the final call from Ben Ingram. It is the C Spire call of the game. The C Spire, you've got all the technology you need for connected living, fiber fast home internet, ultra secure Wi-Fi, and nationwide 5G wireless. You can count on cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired. So here it is, and they have C Spire call of the century from Ben Ingram on the State Championships Radio Network.
Drops back, has time, unwinds, fires for the end zone, up for grabs, it is going to be caught! He caught it! It's a touchdown! Milan Stubbs, and we're tied! A miracle in Starkville.
Well, there it is. The final call there from Ben Ingram on the State Championships Radio Network, the C Spire call of the game, or as we like to say, the C Spire, as we said, the call of the century. So there it is, and then that's just about going to put a wrap on our coverage as we got to take down a lot of equipment. We got to say thank you to a number of people involved in the broadcast, like Bill Wilson, our on-site engineer. Also, Java Chapman and Mississippi Public Broadcasting and their 8 stations statewide, the affiliates across the state of Mississippi. Of course, we had a number of guys back in the studios on WRKS, whether it was Beaver, it was Andy, it was a few other guys that were back there. And, of course, our crew here from Ben Ingram, Jared Schatz, Caleb Hamill, Brandon Davis. Also, you have... We had Cliff Barker, Brian Eubank, just a number of guys that come in and out. All of our guests, Mississippi Army National Guard, folks from Visit Columbus, the folks from Environment Masters. We also had College and Career Savings of Mississippi. And it is a number of people that are like Mississippi Sports Medicine, Mississippi Air National Guard, Environment Masters, William Carey, Cherokee Brick, Trustmark Bank, Atmos Energy, APAC Mississippi, Farm Bureau, our presenting sponsor. So just a lot goes into these broadcasts. And this week might be from bell to bell, maybe the best week
that I've seen since I've been. This is my 4th year with the network, and I think every game was it wasn't quite as dramatic as a Hail Mary at the end of the ball game, but every game was very entertaining. Nothing too one-sided either way, and so it's been a very, very good time here for us on the State Championships Radio Network. So that is going to complete our coverage today and this year and this weekend. And we couldn't have asked for a better way to end the 2025 high school football season as Gulfport wins it on a Hail Mary 21-20. So for our entire crew, for Bill Wilson, Jaron Schatz, Ben Ingram, our entire crew, Mississippi Public Broadcasting, WRKS, Breck Riley signing off here on the State Championships Radio Network, presented by Farm Bureau.